is Christian Doolittle. Hamilton for another.
Oh, wow.
Harvey for 3.
I will say this is the last time I'll say it on record because people know it whether they want to admit it or not.
We have a plethora of talent here in the NBL, and Derek Rucker, I want to ask you a really good question. We have awards at the end of the year. We've touched on Coach of the Year, we've got Sixth Man of the Year, but we've got the all-first NBL team. Now, how many players out there tonight?
Oh, wow, you put me on the spot, but let's go with the man right there on camera. He's a candidate. Jesse Edwards, of course, Bryce Cotton, Zylan Cheatham, and you can never count out the veteran Chris Golden because of his individual brilliance. Also, Milton Doyle having a solid season.
Yeah, my word, Milton Doyle. He has sometimes the shooting goes off the boil a little bit, but they're stacked team, and down this end of the floor, there's stars all over the joint. Zion Cheatham, which you spoke about, and I think Isaac Humphries, he has done enough to be, if not in the first team, certainly he's in the second team.
True.
He is one of the top 10 players in the competition as we speak.
So basically you're saying that there could be 4 on the court tonight that are in that final 5. Let's get to your coaches' whiteboards. Andrew Gaze, we're going to start with you.
Yeah, it's a pretty simple one. Control the emotions is first and foremost. Coming off that win where you're down the whole way, you think, oh, well, it's fate. Everything will come easy. No, you've got to go out there and earn it, and you've got to make sure you keep the focus. Keep Golding quiet.
Yeah.
When he's been struggling, as has Melbourne United, keep him off the three-point line. It's the advantage, the Adelaide 36ers, and own the boards. The Melbourne United's second leading offensive rebounding team in the competition.
Well, that's for Mike Wells. And what about for Dean Vickerman?
Well, I'm going to role play here, Andrew. I'm actually going to be Dean Vickerman.
Wow.
Firstly, when look at the whiteboard, just ignore those bottom 2, guys. Firstly, this is all that matters. I want to apologize for last Sunday. I thought we could just go out and start anybody and put the hammer on Southeast Melbourne. Now I'm catching all types of heat from the NBL media. But check this out. Do you know who I am? I'm Dean Vickerman, baby. 3-time Coach of the Year, 7-time NBL champ. I do what I want to do up in here. And Jesse, you know what else I do?
You're a bit arrogant,
You know what else I do, Jesse? I take teams on deep postseason runs year in, year out. And also, I turn big men into multi-millionaires.
Well, I absolutely love when you're on a roll. Derek, let's go to the Adelaide 36ers, Melbourne United. Starts now.
No way Dean said that.
Undefeated Melbourne United, the Adelaide 36ers, their best start to the season in quite some time. See Edwards, one of the best in the competition.
Oh, look out.
Oh! Zylan Cheatham flies. Golding crosses over and buries it with 1 to come. Cotton sent him one way and he buries the 3. Here come Melbourne to take the lead back. Edwards, Melbourne back in front. Wow. DJ from in our laps. That is enormous. For the first time, they have to come from behind. Doyle misses. Walker for the win. The game of the season delivers. Melbourne win by 1.
It's been the hottest day in Adelaide for 9 months, and the heat is on at the Adelaide Entertainment Centre, as well as a 31st consecutive sellout crowd pours in to see the biggest ever game here for the 36ers at this venue as they look to win a 7th straight game and maintain top spot on the Mitsubishi Motors ladder against Melbourne United. It's first against second, and we're glad that you could be with us for this highly anticipated showdown. Alongside MVPs Andrew Gaze and Derek Rucker, I'm John Casey. The last time these two teams met, Melbourne scored the last bucket of the game to snatch victory from the jaws of defeat. And gentlemen, we're expecting another epic this evening.
Okay, so this is the one that we all have been waiting for all week. And Andrew, we've spoken about it often. 2 of the best shooting teams in the competition. Superstars everywhere. A good defensive team in Melbourne United and an improving one in Adelaide. We got a packed house. Wow.
Yeah, and you know, we could see some different important situations as this one. You see Dean Beckerman there talking to Tommy Wilson, and without Tyson Walker, you'd expect that there'd be some changes. So it's a little unsettling when you lose your point guard and how they make some adjustments, but gee, they're in a fortunate situation that they've got a very experienced campaigner in Shea Ely. Now, I know he's on minutes restrictions, but that still is a guy that can provide that veteran leadership.
Without a doubt, celebration for Isaac Humphries tonight as well, his 100th game as an Adelaide 36er, 149 overall after a season with Sydney where he was Rookie of the Year, and a season with Melbourne. He's really made a name for himself here in Adelaide.
And his whole demeanor has changed. He looks happy. He looks enthused about what he's doing, and a lot of it is due to the arrival of Bryce Cotton and Zylan Cheatham. His finishing around the basket is elite. He's got a wide variety of finishing moves. He's mobile, he's athletic, and he right now could be the most informed big man in the NBL.
I know, you look at his numbers from last year and they are very similar to this year, but his impact is profoundly more, and I think you're right, Bryce Cotton's got a lot to do with it. We see the comparisons with the bigs. Jesse Edwards is having a fine season, only playing 21 minutes a game. Imagine if he played an extra 9-10 minutes on how those numbers could improve. So they play at a breakneck speed, Melbourne United, and I think that's why his minutes are a little down on what you'd normally expect.
Jesse Edwards got the points against Humphries when they last met with 25.7 boards. He was 10 of 10 from the field. Isaac Humphries was in foul trouble, and that really hurt him.
Yeah, and that was a different Isaac Humphries, even though it was only 5 or 6 weeks ago. He's really grown in confidence since then. And also, I think the Sixers as a unit have transformed in that time, and they're a much better basketball team now.
No doubt about that. We've got, most people are expecting right now, and a lot of basketball to play, but this is, I think, what most people think are going to be the grand finalists, and what a spectacular scene. 31st sellout, you were telling us, Case?
Indeed it is, Andrew. Bryce Cotton has lost 6 of his last 7 against Melbourne, and tonight, though, he's going up against a 17-year-old. Dash Daniels, the next star, gets his first start. And who knows where else you would get an opportunity like that. This Next Stars program, that's why you get involved, because this is a big ask for him. And I know Derek Rucker and Andrew Gaze are both a little nervous about Dash Daniels having the first look at him.
Yeah, well, it's an interesting choice there from Dean Vickerman, but he knows his team much better than Andrew or I. And also great timing for Dash Daniels, because this stadium has a number of NBA scouts here in attendance, ready to watch the young man perform, and he could really, really do his stock value a lot of good with a decent performance against Bryce Cotton.
That's true, and he's got size, which we all think is an advantage against Bryce Cotton. But as we said earlier, if you just guard him one-on-one, if they just go out there and say, here you go, Dash, all the very best, well, then Bryce is going to own him. So unless you do it collectively, he will own anyone in this league.
Great to have Kelsey Brown courtside with us tonight as well. Kels?
Thanks, John. Massive energy down here, and you mentioned the starting lineup. It is different for Melbourne United. Yet again, Dash Daniels comes into it. Milton Doyle, Finn Delaney, Tanner Krebs, so Chris Golding still coming off the bench, and Jesse Edwards to round that one out. We are hoping to see Tyson Walker back on Sunday, obviously out tonight with that concussion, so different rotations and a different look for Melbourne United again.
Yes, 3 changes to the team that lost by 25 against the Phoenix. And, of course, Shea Ely we saw there. Well, he's played 4 games this season, Shea Ely, and he's won all 4 of them with Melbourne United. And Dash Daniels is going to be certainly up against it. Adelaide going with the same lineup they've used for the last 2 games. Bryce Cotton, Zylan Cheatham, Flynn Cameron and Isaac Humphries have started all 16 games this season. Troy Brown has now taken over as the next member of that starting lineup after Kenyon, Vasiljevic and White also performed that role. Troy Brown hasn't lost as a 36er. It's first against second. Biggest game of the season so far, and a sellout crowd in Adelaide is ready to ride with it as well. And it's Melbourne United to control the tip and will have first use of the ball. Doyle guarded by Cameron, the former Melbourne player, thinks he's got him covered. Edwards from close range just couldn't get the finish.
They love the Spain action. They try that on the first play of the game, Melbourne United. Flynn Cameron is another one that he'd be keen just to remind Dean Vickerman that maybe he deserved a few extra minutes. Oh my!
Hello! Bryce Cotton gets the handoff and goes whack right away. And boy, that is going to put a lot of pressure on Daniels now that Cotton's knocked down his first three.
Edwards from close range gets Melbourne scoring underway.
And Drew, obviously, Melbourne United are going to play through Milton Doyle at the point guard position without Walker and Illy starting the game on the bench.
Cotton baseline got it back from Humphries, just couldn't get the finish. Delaney hands over. This is Tanner Krebs. I think his best season in the NBL. He's coughed it up here. Cotton relieves him of it. Cheatham in support. Cotton now waits for the support to arrive, and it's in the form of Flynn Cameron. He's off the mark. Cheatham trying to keep it alive and almost doing just that. Here's a chance for Delaney, puts it on the deck, rushes to the hoop, and Melbourne in front for the first time.
That's an aspect of Delaney's game I don't remember being as good as it's been in NBL26 in transition, attacking the basket.
I think that's got a lot to do with Dean Vigman and the style he wants to play. He really wants to put some heat on the rim early in the offensive set. There's a good pick and roll. Cheatham goes to the free throw line to shoot a couple, but this is high energy, and as you mentioned, Derek, the Adelaide 36ers don't usually play with great pace statistically, but here and opening up in this one, they are getting a lot of early shots.
Finn Delaney's been in foul trouble, as we know. He's fouled out 6 times this season, and only Marcus Lee with 7 has had more. He fouled out twice last week and 4 of his last 5 games.
In case you bring up an interesting side note to that is, I think he is the only one equipped on the Melbourne United roster to handle Zylan Cheatham. I think Cheatham might be too quick and athletic for Krislovic, who is a very good basketball player. But there might be just a natural mismatch if Delaney does get into foul trouble.
Well, Cheatham had 21 points, a game-high 12 boards, and a game-high 9 assists when these teams met 7 weeks ago. And here, triple-double for him. And Melbourne, with single numbers on the shot clock, as Doyle got away from Cotton. The pass, though, was telegraphed, and it was deflected out of court.
Andrew, this game is super juiced up. Guys are energized, playing hard on both ends. Probably a little bit too energized at the moment. They need to get a little bit more composure.
It's got a real playoff atmosphere about it.
Edwards against Humphrey, spins into the middle. There was contact. The whistle provided here by Mark Grist, who's working the game with Vaughan Mabry and Ken Arrick. First foul on Adelaide already. Finn Delaney with 1 for Melbourne.
And one thing it does do with Dash Daniels in there, that Adelaide are prepared to test him from the three-point line, so they can clog up the paint a little more than what they would if Walker was out there.
Melbourne, the worst team in the league at defending the three-point line, giving up 39% to the opposition. Red numbers on the shot clock for Milton Doyle. Caught it short, loose ball, comes to Cameron. Humphrey's ahead of him. He'll need to wait for the supporters. He's going to be aggressive and takes on Tanner Krebs and gets it done. Adelaide back on top.
Wow, great move there by Flynn Cameron. Came down in transition. Did not have numbers, Andrew, but uses individual brilliance to get to the rim and finish.
Doyle works on Cameron, kicks. Finds Delaney with a shoulder down against Flynn Cameron. Forced into a tough shot, came up empty. United 2 of 6 from the field, 33%. As Cotton works on Daniels, pass, gets Humphries involved, and he throws it down. Looked like contact on the shot as well.
The pick and roll between Cotton and Humphries has been deadly this season. We saw them decimate Perth with it last Sunday, and Melbourne United seemingly having no answer early.
5 unanswered points from Adelaide after Melbourne had scored the previous 4. And the shot clock rolls down to red numbers, and Cheatham is all up and about at the moment as he's yakking to the Melbourne bench.
And this has been a spectacular start on the defensive end. There's Bryce Cotton, and just threading the needle, finds Humphries off 2 feet. And they saw Edwards. You have to be that high, otherwise Bryce is going to shoot it. And that's those circumstances, you need a third-man rotation, because you got to expect Edwards to provide some help when Bryce Cotton's coming off.
Took over 3 minutes played in this opening quarter. Adelaide with a 4-point buffer. Cotton puts it on the deck, kicks Brown, overdue from deep. A little strong there. Shooting the ball at 27% from long range. Every other statistical category, he's right up there. Just the turnover ratio best in the competition. Just the shot struggling at the moment as we see Melbourne struggling offensively there. They're now 2 of 7 at 29%.
A couple of good looks too. ones you'd normally expect Milton Doyle to play. Dash Daniels gets called for the foul. And that was better timing by Cotton, because he waited until Humphries was set, and because they're trying to fight over the top of the screen, there was no threat of getting a moving screen. Dash Daniels comes out, and Shea Illy and Chris Golding come in, so wholesale changes. Krislovic comes in as well.
Two substitutions here.
One of them, it's correction. He's put Dash back out, and it's Milton Doyle that's come out of the contest.
Good. Great to see Shea Illy back. Played one game in the last 11 weeks, Shea Illy. His last game was 27 days ago. The reigning defensive player of the year, so important. Here's Cotton, found an opening, knocks down another. He's got 5, and Adelaide lead by 6.
He's moving freely, Andrew. He's moving with the confidence and swagger that no one can contain him on the floor.
And he's getting the breaks. That was a deflection that fell in the hands of Cotton.
This Shea Illy down low against Rakocevic. Nice welcome back to the competition for Shea Illy.
And often overlooked with Shea Illy because of his excellent defensive prowess is his ability to score the basketball, especially attacking the rim and in the mid-range.
Cotton, pocket pass. Cheatham, they thought he travelled. Referees didn't see it that way. They had another 2.
They're just having their way with Melbourne United and getting to the rim. Any sort of cutting action off the on-ball or the slip has been successful.
Adelaide 5 of 8 from the field at 63%. United 3 of 9 from the field so far.
In case, as Andrew just alluded to, the pick and roll situation or the player exchange situation, Melbourne United haven't done a good job in defending it. Let's see if Dean Vickerman makes an adjustment in this first quarter or waits till the break.
Illy, pocket pass, Krislovic shares it outside. Delaney got a good look, can't convert. Still on the clock. Foul going to be called.
This is going to sound weird, but Melbourne United only got 6 points, but they've looked far more engaged, they're far more active than they did in their last couple of games. Now, it's not being reflected on the scoreboard right now, but they're energised, and that's a wide open look. They're just unable to hit it. Dash Daniels might have got away with the push.
No, they called it on him, and that now is his second foul.
Tommy Wilson, who's hardly played the last 3 or 4 games, he gets an early look.
And this is where the absence of Tyson Walker will be pronounced as Cotton works on Illy, gets into the paint, he elevates and draws a foul. He's going to the free throw line.
And make no mistake about it, this is a tough matchup for Shea Illy coming back off of an injury. And you're going against a guy who is in sizzling form. Not necessarily as a devastating scorer we've seen, because his numbers have dropped back in that regard the past few weeks. But just from his complete play, his ball distribution, defensively he's doing a better job. And of course, critical scoring is what he does best.
So early on is here with Adelaide.
It's an absolute joy to watch Bryce Cotton. And as you're watching this game, when you get the opportunity, just watch the work off the ball as much as you do with on the ball, because he is dynamite with the way in which he sets players up to actually receive it, because a lot of the time they're trying to prevent him from catching it.
Adelaide by 8. Golding works inside. Can't finish it under pressure though. Loose ball scramble, kept alive by Krislovic. Now Wilson. Pass Cotton, back to Krislovic, puts it on the deck. Guarded by Cotton, might like his chances. Dishes outside for Delaney, who knocks down their first 3.
Do not yell in my ear.
Much needed just to release the pressure. And even though it seems like Adelaide have outplayed them, it's only a 5-point margin.
Well done again, Krislovic. Rolled up nicely against Rakocevic, talked him out of it. Here's Golding getting to the rack and adding his first points.
Just defensive transition. They went to sleep on Chris Golding. Perhaps think he's going to settle for the 3. Here's that kick-out pass. Now, I'd like to see when he's got Bryce Cotton on, just attack the rim, try and get him a free throw. To the free throw line, get him in foul trouble, but that's just an easy 2 for Chris Golding.
Tangerine timeout, pre-game, Kelsey Brown caught up with Jesse Edwards.
Flat round 11 for you guys coming off 2 losses. What were the conversations like during the week?
I mean, I think they kind of all flow from certain things like, team chemistry and that energy. Just having great communication while we're out there on the court, making sure that you always have your guys back, and really making sure that when we do go back to the film room, there won't be the same glaring mistakes that we had last time out.
Dean Vickerman opted for a different starting lineup.
Jesse Edwards pre-game. And this has been a good fight back here from Melbourne, having a good 90 seconds. Peeled off 5 unanswered points after the margin had been out to 8.
Time's expired.
Steady the shit.
Nice little play phase there from United to get this game back within 3. And with this lineup, they really don't have a lot of scoring firepower, United. So execution and defensive stops will be vital until Vickerman decides to bring back Edwards and Doyle.
Yeah, spot on. Right now, they're relying on Chris and Finn Delaney.
Here's White aggressively taking on Wilson. Gets down low. He's off to the free throw line. Adelaide 3 or 4 from the stripe so far. Melbourne yet to take a free throw.
It's just surprising how easy it's been able to get to the paint.
Yeah.
Usually Melbourne United in that one-on-one situation, they slide their feet, and that time a foul called on Tommy Wilson.
Or they show early help to discourage penetration, or at the worst force a kick-out pass.
Yeah, and with White, Vasiljevic, Cotton out there, they are that stretches the floor because they all have the capacity to knock it down from the three-point line.
Well, these 3 guys played a major role in that comeback on Sunday.
Indeed, they did. Cotton, the only starter on the floor for Adelaide. Delaney, the only first 5 member out there for Melbourne. Shot clock to 10 here for Golding. Canyon. Now Illy, good penetration. That's aggressive and impressive from Shea Illy. Strong.
Turn that corner with purpose. And we know he's an outstanding athlete. Elevates nice off the deck.
Kosovic, a little untidy getting the pass from Vasiljevic. Here's Cotton. Shot clock to 10 for Adelaide. Crossed over, lost the handle. White decides to fire. It was under pressure.
Bad shot.
It was. And Delaney scoops up the loose ball.
And he had Vasiljevic wide open on the weak side. You've got to find a way to get DJ going as well. And that's just what we saw from the Adelaide 36ers. We're seeing from Melbourne United. The hard attack on the rim.
Well, Delaney's been an outstanding form the past 4 rounds. It's taken him some time to find the offensive rhythm which he needs to play with for Melbourne United. But in this one, he's got 7 points, and they've all been significant in this one early.
They've needed him, haven't they? He averages 11 a game, had 13 points, 5 boards, 4 assists when they played 7 weeks ago. He can do it all. But without Tyson Walker tonight,
They've got the Golding matchup, yeah.
they've all got to pick up a little bit of the slack. So a little over 3 minutes out from quarter time. An 8-point buffer that Adelaide enjoyed has been cut to just 1. Flynn Cameron do the ball carrying duties as Bryce Cotton sits down for the first time in the game. He exits with 7 points on 2 of 3 shooting. 2 assists to lead that category in the game as well. Cameron aggressively, yes!
He's such a good basketball player. No weaknesses in his game.
IQ off the charts, and we talk about his game winner in Perth last week. The block shot that he got on Doolittle prior to that went a little unnoticed or lost in the... But he has got high IQ. As Kenyon comes up empty. So a chance now for Melbourne United to edge a little closer. Golding attracted plenty of attention. Got it to Wilson. In traffic. A lot of contact, no whistle. Eventually we do get the whistle. Foul's going to be called on Isaac Humphries, it would appear. Going to be his first personal.
And a lot of contact there on Golding. He's looking at the refs like, what's
Comes
up?
across his arm.
Wilson stumbles through the paint, and then they finally blow one.
See, that was first impressive. Looked like Tommy Wilson got tripped, but Kenyon did a pretty good job just keeping in front.
Arm wrestle, as we expected, from close range. Bowen had it rattle around and jump out.
And these are key minutes here with Cotton on the bench. If Adelaide can just maintain status quo.
Oh, Vasiljevic step back triple.
Well, he hit one of the toughest three-point shots in a crisis against the Perth Wildcats in the corner. And although he's not shooting it well, hello. Nice alley-oop play, but DJ's capable of going off, as is that man, Chris Golding.
And that's a killer, a missed dunk that leads to a 3-ball from Golding.
Oh, it is all happening. Inside 2 minutes left in this opening quarter. Adelaide by 3. And Vasiljevic, by Krebs, hands over. This is Cameron against Doyle. Shot clock to 6. He comes up with a finish. Flynn Cameron now with 7 on 3 or 4 from the field. No one has more in the game.
Well, Dean Vickerman very upset after that made bucket. Whistles to the referees for a timeout. But Andrew, this is just individual excellence. And we got 2 technicals.
DJ and Chris Golding get called for a tech. Didn't look like there was too much in it.
He comes in his face, and then he pushes him back.
Right here, look at Cameron, just sets up Milt Doyle, puts him to sleep, and then knocks down the 3 ball. But of course, Vasiljevic, Kenyon, and Golding all going at it.
I think Dean Vickerman was just not happy with Milton Doyle. That was like a half a step late on the Flynn Cameron 3 ball, and he got very upset.
Pivotal game in the season, 82nd game of the season, 82 to go after tonight, and 1 and 2 on the ladder, head-to-head with the winner, if it is Melbourne, going back to the top of the ladder. And they've got such a good record against Adelaide. Since they played in that 2018 Grand Final Series, Melbourne won 3-2. They've had Adelaide's number. They've won 15 of the last 20 against Adelaide. And well, we know what happened in that Grand Final Series. It was an outstanding contest. And Chris Golding and Vijay Vasiljevic are on the same page here at the moment and thinking the refs are against both of them.
Well, let's have a look at these two. DJ's a long way away. Comes in. Chris. Why would Chris get a tech foul for that?
Well, they've both been given a tech foul. Worked that one out a little later. Here's Edwards putting on the deck against Cheatham, trying to muscle his way in from close range. And another foul called on Adelaide. Cheatham picks up his first personal. As we go courtside to Kelsey Brown, who was listening in the Melbourne huddle.
That they come up against in the last 8 weeks have shot at 45% from 3. No surprises that in that timeout he addressed it. He said, we've got to sit down and guard the 3. He's not happy with how they're doing that at the moment. That was the main talking point.
Well, he's right. They've been poor guarding the 3-point line. Worst in the competition for a lot of the season. And they're 3 of 5, the Adelaide 36ers, so it's not like they've had a lot of threes. That's a good takeaway from the rim by Cheatham.
Saves a point for Adelaide, remembering they lost by a point in Melbourne 7 weeks ago. As Cotton harassed by Doyle, ball slapped out of his hand, so good pressure from Milton Doyle.
We can see they're trying to run a set to free DJ up off of a pin down or some type of screening action away from the ball. Right now, if I'm Cotton or DJ or Cameron, I'm really attacking the rim. You're shooting 2 on any contact.
Oh, nice behind the back pass from Cotton. Finishing touches from Vasiljevic.
And that's the other thing that can happen. Kick out 3 balls. 4-3 of the quarter so far for the 36ers. And we got an offensive foul as Doyle strikes Flynn Cameron across the grill.
Well, what about the recognition? So Bryce Cotton, before he even gets the ball, he understands what the defense is doing. The help comes and he just knows where DJ is to find him in the corner. Spectacular play yet again from the little maestro.
But he sets it up there with that back cut, Drew.
That's right. But straight away he knew that, okay, DJ's man's come to help. Behind the back, easy 3 for DJ.
Adelaide with a game-high 8-point edge. They're the best first-quarter team in the competition. On 11. Of the 16 coming into tonight. 4 threes. Melbourne have hit 2 triples so far as Bowen puts it on the deck, ran into a dead end. Behind the back from Doyle to Daniels, and now Edwards trying to thread the needle to Golding. Nothing on offer there. Red numbers on the shot clock now as Daniels opens his account.
Big hit there, Andrew.
Great shot to take. Had no choice. Didn't have to think about it. Only a second left on the shot clock. They're the ones you like, particularly when you're that open.
Cotton trying to shake Daniels. Found some separation. Appeared to be contact after the shot. It goes unwhistled and quarter time arrives here. And an entertaining first quarter with a playoff smell about it. It's Adelaide leading by 5. Adelaide 27, Melbourne 22. Got more high-flying action in the Hungry Jacks NBL coming at you right after this.
This is going to be great. Or not. Are you guys ready? Arms out, eyes closed, spin around 10 times. 3, 2, 1, go. Make it fast. Thanks to Chemist Warehouse, almost 40 locations across South Australia, including the brand new US like the go basketball. No, you know what, Charles? You know what? Charles, do not do anything on the court. No, yeah, just go. Just get your basketball and make it free throw. That's a three-pointer, Charles. But just go to the free throw line. Just go middle midfield right here. Yep, okay, that is not a free throw. Charles is just living his best life. And Ross has technically made one as well. I mean, technically they both don't deserve prizes because they didn't obey the rules, and now they just love it being able to prep my ball thanks to Chemist Warehouse. Give them a semi-round of applause, all right, everyone. Just a real low-key one. I think Ross gets the $100 voucher. Look how happy they are. Are you happy, Charles? He's got no idea what's going on. But you know what? We know what's going on. The second quarter really quickly. We'll get him off the court now. Get off the court. Thanks to Chemist Warehouse.
Well, it's been playoff level basketball here at the Adelaide Entertainment Centre. Friday night hoops between the 36ers and Melbourne United. 27 plays, 22 in the first term. I listened into Mike Wells. He was very happy with the physicality shown by the 36ers. But Derek, I have to ask you, take the score out of it. Who won the battle physicality-wise in that first contest?
Oh, that's a terrific question, Kelsey. And I think it's a slight advantage to Adelaide, although Melbourne United with the 4 offensive rebounds is significant.
Possession arrow with the 36ers. Oh, 5. And Cheatham called for the foul. Zilly gets knocked down.
Yeah, this is called a lot. And I can sympathise a little bit here with Cheatham. Like,
he extends the left elbow, Andrew, if that's why they called it.
Yeah, he sort of stayed within his plane on that pivot. Not sure. Maybe it was the elbow, I guess.
Second foul on Cheatham. Nash Daniels playing with 2 fouls already as well. Delaney just using his bulk and muscle and getting down low to get the job done and draw a foul.
Yeah, I think you need to send help. Finn Delaney, he's athletic, he's strong, and he's very good around the bucket. And they left it to a one-on-one contest, and they're banging bodies, and you're not going to call that on the offense, so you're going to have to send a double.
Finn Delaney 4 of 6 early from the field, going to the line to get his 10th point of the game.
This is the extra. Daniels gets a wide open look though. Hits off the mark as well, and Cotton came up with it. Cotton puts the Jets on against Daniels, tried to draw a foul, got the job done nonetheless. He's got 9 points in the game now. Joins Delaney as the high scorer. Zilly exploring, picks up the dribble. Krebs gets involved. Now mismatch Edwards. They have to send the double team. Leaves Krebs open. He caught a little deep. Kosovic comes up with a rebound.
Kosovic may have gotten away with a push in the back on Daniels. Wasn't whistled.
What's happening between Rakocevic and Finn Delaney there. Foul's going to be called on Delaney. It's his second personal.
Foul's being called, Mike. Now Rakocevic plays with a lot of emotion. Remember, Andrew, he was teed up Sunday in Perth. He's not just a quiet guy out there coming in to play a role.
I've heard what you've got to say. We see the foul. He just holds to the left arm. That's what they've called it for, the holding by Finn Delaney. It's there. It can be say, well, it's a little touchy, but it's certainly there.
Rakocevic ejected against Illawarra here as well in round 10. Entering the court when he wasn't allowed to. Troy Brown Jr. opens his scoring account, and Adelaide lead by 7.
Troy Brown Jr. is a guy who can really lift this team's prospects if he can get himself going.
Edwards spinning on Humphries. Tough shot, gets it done. He's got 5 in the game to go with a game-high 4 boards.
He lost complete control of that ball when he went up.
100%.
Just was able to get it to fall.
Great luck.
Troy Brown Jr. feeds the corner. Clint Cameron ready to go. Edwards puts a stop to it.
Adelaide playing with this double big lineup that I really like to see them use. Let's see how they fare with it out there on the floor scoreboard-wise.
2 minutes played, term number 2. Illy exploring, overcooked it. Cotton grabs the rebound. Lead by 5. Cotton elevates. Rakocevic, the offensive rebound, and had it snatched out of his hands.
Well, they haven't had an offensive board in the contest. So that time Rakocevic attacks the rim. Jesse Edwards got away with one. That's too deep.
Call that foul on Krebs right there, coming across Rakocevic as he gets that offensive rebound. And they gave him 2 shots.
Here we go, 2 shots.
What? Gave him 2 shots.
Here we go.
Dan Vickerman is not happy.
Well, it's generous, Case.
Gee, I thought he just was catching the ball and bringing it down. Hasn't been a reliable free throw shooter.
Well,
but that time he knocks it down.
Looked pretty clean on that first attempt, and that often sets the stage for a good performance the rest of the game.
54% free throw shooter on the season, and he walks up and knocks them down like he knew what he was doing.
And the margin is 7. Adelaide led for the vast majority of this game, in dictating terms. Illy and Bowen on a different wavelength there. Illy's so long out of the game. It's going to take a little while to find that rhythm again as Krebs came up empty. Troy Brown Jr. looking to get busy. Bench Bowen, both teams with 2 fouls already in this quarter. Ball breaks free to Cotton. And found Humphries rolling with a unique finish.
Smooth. Humphries gets it and goes reverse. Terrific pass by Cotton. Adelaide on a roll.
Game-high 9-point lead. They've coughed it up again. 4th turnover of the game for Melbourne. Adelaide has 1 in that category. And Cotton with some fancy moves again for Humphries. Whistle on the play. Free throws to come for Isaac Humphries.
Your favorite, Andrew. A late whistle goes Humphries' way.
Yeah, probably a little flick on the elbow. Didn't look like a whole lot in it, but Bryce Cotton is reading Melbourne United like a cheap novel.
Right.
And just finding the open man on any rolling action, slicing and dicing as a well-used phrase.
A reminder, Hoops Fest is heading to Perth again, Jan 15 to 18. Now is your chance to win the ultimate trip for 2. Flights, 7 nights accommodation, courtside seats at a Hoops Fest game, 2K spending, much more. Enter via the QR code or head to hoopsfest.com.au. Catch up with Allen Iverson, 2001 MVP in the NBA, 11-time All-Star. I remember him having 60 in a game and into the Olympics with a bronze medal.
Can't wait, Case.
Going to be great. Get involved. Why not win the prizes from close range? Clint Cameron adds the 2. He's up to 9 and no one has more.
But he's doing damage on his former team, Andrew.
He is.
Found more opportunity here in Adelaide, and he's doing a number on their perimeter guys.
He needed that one. He had a tough time in that first quarter. He was 0 for 5. He's never going to lose confidence, though. 1 of 6 now. Patented step back 3 for Milton.
This is Humphries working on Krislovic.
Too small.
Comes inside and comes with a finish. He's got 7 on 3 of 3 from the field.
Krislovic's too small if he gets it that close to the bucket.
Krislovic at the other end looking for the triple. That's off the mark. Kept alive. Good work there from Tom Commons to keep that alive. And Doyle gets another look and knocks it down.
Well, he's streaky, and he can get you back in the game quickly. Milton Doyle sensing the moment and understanding that they don't have a lot of offensive potency at the moment, and he's trying to start it up himself. Back to the well.
Humphries. Well, Krislovic did a good job initially. Eventually worried him out of the points. Whistle on the play.
What ball?
This is going to be called on Adelaide, and it's on Clint Cameron.
Tom Coppins has now been given the assignment on Bryce Cotton as we look at the Amy replay. And this is Milton Doyle with back-to-back threes, and it coming at a timely time because they've struggled offensively.
Well, to their credit, Melbourne United have worked hard in getting second chance opportunities, 6 offensive rebounds, of which they've hit 2 threes, one by Doyle, one by Golden.
Here's Doyle with it again. It's good off him, so he fires. Overcooked Coppins again, a piece of it.
I don't recommend standing off him as a good tactic.
Not going to be in your best interest. Vasiljevic, Kenyon. Gave him some latitude as well. Now foul going to be called on Melbourne. It's a 4th team foul in this quarter as Chris Golden gets his second.
Thank you. And the fouls are slowly starting to rack up. United's got 3 guys on 2. And a lot of time left in this second quarter.
14 fouls on United. Cotton, bounce pass for Humphries, rolling inside again. Dean Bickham has seen this movie too many times. It's 9 for Humphries on 4 of 5 shooting. Adelaide by double digits.
A team that is so good on the defensive end like Melbourne United is. This scheme and this execution against the Adelaide pick and roll has been significantly less than what we would have anticipated.
100%, and what they're doing, they're hard showing, and it's not being effective on Bryce Cotton. He might take away his shot, but he's being able to find the roller. And you go back to what like Sydney Kings did, they blitzed it more and just double-teamed him and give it a better more chance on the 3rd-man rotation, gives you a better chance to guard the roller.
Humphries up to 9 on 4 of 5 shooting. I asked him pre-game if he was in career best form. You're averaging 16 points a game, a career high. Are you in career best form?
I mean, I'd say so, yeah. I think so. I think that's such a weird concept, you know, career best form and all this stuff. I think it's the best career situation I've been in as a whole, and I think that's what's happening here. Like, we have a great team, we have a great group of guys around us where we're honing in on culture, and I think for the first time it's just all really coming together. And the career numbers are great, but I think the career feeling and the best career feeling that I've had outside of the numbers is even better for me. Like, I'm loving that even more. So,
well, Case, you're one of the best of the business, but I could have answered that one for you. Resonating, yes, outstanding season from Isaac Humphries, borderline first team all NBL, and a case to be made for the best big in the competition.
Well, Melbourne have got their hands full here, down double digits. Kelsey was listening in with Dean Bickham, and as Golding elevates off the mark.
Yeah, I was listening into Dean. He went straight to Tom Coppins and gave him some pointers on how to Bryce guard. That's not how you do it. He said he can't get past your head exactly like that. So Dean Bickham won't be happy with that. He just addressed it straight away. Interesting to see Tom Coppins. He got the start last week, now the assignment on Bryce. Dean Bickham clearly believes in him.
Well, he does, but he's going to be questioned because Tom Coppins is giving him choices. He went left, he went right. You just got to take one way away from him and hope for help.
Well, I know that Shea Ely may be on time restrictions, but right now, Case, with this game getting a little bit out of hand in a danger zone for Melbourne United, I've got to come back with Ely to play against Cotton.
See here, he goes left, he goes right, and then he's trying to take away the right hand. But when you don't succeed at that, then you've got no help.
They're over the limit in terms of fouls, so Cotton to the free throw line where he's 2 of 2 so far, and 102 of 114 at 90% on the season.
And he misses that one, Case. Good job by you.
Not easy to do. Only one player gets to the stripe more in the competition than Bryce Cotton.
It's a long way to play. A little over 4 minutes remaining when you've got these foul problems and you're trying to guard Bryce.
Inside the last 4 minutes of an entertaining first half, Adelaide with the honours so far as Delaney works on Kenyon, nothing on offer. Doyle again, same spot, same result. Milton Doyle's up to 9, including 3 of 4 from deep.
I truly believe he's a better player this season for Melbourne United than he was even in the championship season with Tasmania. He's more complete. His efficiency numbers are higher.
Cameron got it from Cotton, found Kenyon down low. Edwards arrives late, but It's called for the foul. It's going to be his second personal, more free throws.
14. Hit.
This is where it's hard to defend. You're playing against a highly confident Adelaide team, Drewy, who probably feels like they got away with one last Sunday. Now they come in here just a little bit looser, but yet more confident. And it is a tough matchup. What do we think about Matthew Kenyon's free throw routine here?
Well, it's quick and unsuccessful. To me, it's not quite right. It's I'm sure about the feet position either.
Correct. I always coach to have your feet set, then get into your dribbles.
It's like he steps into it and then makes that one, but he's trying to find his own rhythm.
Adelaide by 11, 3.5 left until the major break. Cotton's trying to draw a foul, eventually convinced the referee, so he's off to the free throw line.
They call it on Bryce.
Second personal for him.
2 shots, here we go.
Like Tom Poppins. He's got a real live body, big size.
Real good size, bouncy enough. And the good thing about it is for him and his development, he plays in the off-season in the NBL1, and he plays a significant role. So when he gets these moments, he's prepared because of what he's done at the lower level.
The NBL1 did a great job with Sandringham Sabres. 26 and 15 in the grand final against Melbourne, Andrew.
Yeah, gave him numbers.
Cotton again finds Humphries rolling down low. Kenyon's the open man in the corner.
That's really, if you shot it, if you had a chart of his shots throughout the course of the season, 80% of them would be right in that spot, in the corners.
5 of 20 on the season from deep, and he gets that to tumble. Doyle ran to a dead end there. Kenyon's got Physicality in support. Now Cotton joins in. Away from Delaney to an opening. Caught it a little deep, kept alive by Physicality. Shot clock. Works to red numbers as Cotton puts on the Jets. Bounce pass. Humphries, how did he find him there?
Terrific assist from Bryce Cotton as he continues to shred the Melbourne United defense with dribble penetration. Look at the dime, Drew.
He's got 7 of them, and the degree of difficulty on 4 of them has been high. There's a whole lot of traffic, and he just knows where his bailout pass is going to be.
Isaac Humphries with 13 points on 6 of 7 shooting. Keep in mind, Case, he was 13 of 15 from the field on Sunday.
Yeah, outstanding.
To me, the Coppins experiment on Bryce Cotton did not work. And they've made the change. Shea Ili comes back in.
Well, whatever minutes Ili has left in the tank must be utilized now, because we're getting to desperate times with the way the Sixers are playing at the moment.
Doyle adds to his tally now with 11. Only Humphries with 13 has more in the game. Humphries sits down, Rakocevic checks in.
You can run.
Now they're losing, and they're 12 down, but like I said earlier, it's a different way they're losing. It's not the lethargic, off their tucker type performance. It's just that they're up against a really strong opponent.
Edwards and Rakocevic collide off the ball. Ozone whistle. Here's Cotton exploring against Ili. Wow, got him off balance. Banks 2, draws a foul. This is some sort of performance.
Well, it's the Bryce Cotton show here at the Adelaide Entertainment Center. 12 points, 8 dimes, and he's got a chance to add 1, and right now, this is unfair. That's no indication of who Shea Ili is. Right now, he's just doesn't have enough reps under his belt, Andrew.
No, and it's the toughest assignment in the NBL that he's faced after a long period on the sidelines.
And the loss of Tyson Walker is crippling right now for Melbourne United, Case.
Game high 15-point lead for Adelaide. 27 in this quarter. Edwards.
That was just silly by Edwards. Now, there might have been some mayo on it, but you just can't go out there and push a bloke over. Try to create some space for yourself.
And Rakocevic is a very physical player. He's got hands all over Edwards, and Edwards says, I have had enough. Get off of me.
But how can you complain to the official after that? He's just pushed him straight in the chest with two hands.
Well, he got baited into that one, Case.
Yeah, third foul for him as well, so he'll sit down now with 2 and a bit minutes left until half-time.
There's no doubt that the contact was exaggerated, but it still was significant contact.
And he's a young professional. At the age of 25, he's playing against a much more experienced basketball player, Nick Rakocevic. And it showed right there as this crowd boos Jesse Edwards as they see it on the Jumbotron.
Yeah, just a normal foul. They were checking it for an act of violence.
Keep coming.
Now that's twice so far this year. Jesse Edwards. Tyson Walker, Edwards in foul trouble is another problem for Dean Vickerman and Melbourne United. We move inside the last 2 minutes of the first half. Adelaide by 15, having their way with Melbourne at the moment. Cotton comes up empty. 13 in the game for Cotton, 13 in the game for Humphries, and 11 for Milton Doyle, who brings Melbourne forward.
And don't forget about the 8 assists case.
Doyle, he now moves up to 13. Bryce Cotton this season, a 50% increase in his assists year on year and a 100% increase in steals to be top of the table in that category. Vasiljevic feeds Rakocevic. Well done, Krislovic, and worried him out of the points. So a chance here for Melbourne. Grabs some momentum as Golding exploring. Dances inside, and Golding now up to 7 in the game.
That's a great finish as he took the contact and was able to levitate and finish. Critical minute here for the United.
Back-to-back baskets for Melbourne. Cotton against Illy and others. Looking for Rakocevic, couldn't handle the pass. Illy has Delaney to his left. Side to go solo. What a finish from Shea Illy, who's now got 6 points on 3 or 4, and Mike Wells wants timeout.
And a good decision by Bryce Cotton, not the foul. Knew that he's got a couple. They can't afford to have him out. So he does his best just to be a distraction, but Shea Illy, he wanted the foul.
Shea Illy, impressive, 6 points, 3 or 4 from the field. Comeback game, much needed for Melbourne, who are undefeated when he plays. And Adelaide right now in the driver's seat, up 9. Great atmosphere here in Adelaide as well. Of course, the round continues later tonight. Perth hosting Sydney. Whoa. And Sydney, of course, have to back up in Melbourne on Sunday and then host Adelaide in an Ignite Cup game next Wednesday in Canberra. So they play first, second, and the fourth-ranked team in the space of 6 days.
And all on the road, too.
It's a big ask. It's going to be almost season-defining for them at the moment. Sydney 7-7 in 5th position on the ladder.
Yeah.
I give them a chance in Perth tonight. The longer the road trip goes, the tougher it's going to be for them.
And Case, look, we never know what is going to happen in these games. And even when you think a team is going to have some type of comprehensive victory, it's never as easy as you think it may be.
Indeed. Don't forget, download the new NBL app. You can switch seamlessly between the NBL, the WNBL, NBL 1, and it's all there for you. Track the teams, explore player profiles, live scores, highlights. It's all free. Download it from the NBL app, from the App Store or Google Play right now. So we head toward half-time. Adelaide with the advantage. As Cameron gets it from Troy Brown Jr. down to the baseline, nothing on offer. Brown had a good look, and he drains another.
Outstanding pass there by Flynn Cameron. A subtle pass behind the defender's head that led to that Troy Brown Jr. 3-ball.
He's finding his way. He's had his ups and downs. The productivity has been modest, but you can see what potentially could be there.
Shot clock, game clock in unison, heading toward halftime. Ellie takes them on, gets it done, draws a foul. High quality play from Shea Illy.
So tough on that right hand. Plays with force as he turns the corner. Gets his body into Troy Brown Jr. before he is able to elevate and contest the shot. Big time finish. Illy needs to knock this free throw down, and United get a stop to go into the change room with a little bit of momentum, Drew.
You just feel like they're hanging on right now, Melbourne United, and this is a big possession, and half the assignment's there, done. Now we've got to make the free throw.
82% this season, 18 of 22. Can't get it done, and he'll get it back at another chance here. Error coming from Adelaide. There's 8 seconds left on the clock.
He gets another shot.
He makes the adjustment. The last play of the half come to Adelaide. Cotton's got the ball in his hands.
Go double him.
Against Shea Illy on the retreat. He gets beyond him, works to an opening, and that is money for Bryce Cotton on the buzzer. He's up to 15, and Adelaide lead by double digits. First half honours here with Adelaide, who lead 59-48.
An outstanding first half of basketball, in particular for the Adelaide 36ers. But Andrew, to close out that half, you got to take the ball out of Bryce Cotton's hands.
Let's go to Kelsey Brown.
I've got DJ Vasiljevic. DJ, it looks like you guys picked up where you left off in Perth. It looks like a lot of fun out there.
Yeah, it is. Obviously, the first 3 quarters against Perth were absolute crap, and then we've got to play 5th gear. We can't come out 2nd, 3rd gear, so we've done a good job, and yeah, hopefully we continue the next 20 minutes.
Front row seat to the Bryce and the Isaac show at the moment. They seem to be doing pretty well.
Yeah, I just sit in the corner, have someone guard me in face, and then they got to play 4-on-4. So I do my job, and yeah, they're getting buckets, so it's good for us.
Lastly, the physicality seems to have met each other. Melbourne United, we know they bring that, but you guys are bringing it as well. Is it physical out there?
It is, but me and CG got teched up for probably the weakest stuff I've ever seen. So I don't know. Allow us to play, but those technical fouls are pretty weak.
Thanks for your time.
All good.
A massive first half here in Adelaide. The 36ers lead Melbourne United 59-48 at the major break. Don't go anywhere. Myself, Derek, and Andrew Gaze will break it down after this short break.
Half-time at the Adelaide Entertainment Centre. Thank you very much to Remo Fitness, the Adelaide 36ers' favourite gym. We have the Lundy Jenkins and the Ludic family here tonight, who are having like a family battle. Thank you very much to Remo Fitness. Sign up now. We've already given away stacks of memberships tonight as well, so it is a best of 3 competition. The first one is the tug of war. We have an amazing prize back to you away. Thank you very much to Remo Fitness. Lundy Jenkins, Ludic, pick up your rope and get ready for the tug of war. Now, Murray, you are the referee here. You need to get behind him. Let's turn up the tunes. 3, 2, 1, here we go. Lundy Jenkins and the Ludovic fan. Well, I think it's the Lundy Jenkins who are dominating at the moment, and they've just got this easy. My goodness, it is chaos. We are 1-0 at the moment. We have an injury. It is okay. So now we need a representative from each family. Right here, please. A representative from each family who's going to play rock, paper, scissors. All right. Lundy Jenkins and the Ludovic family. So this is also best of 3. Now, do you know how you're going to do rock, paper, scissors? How do you do it? Okay, just go rock, paper, scissors, shoot. Good luck. Here we go. Best of 3. Thanks to Remo Fitness. Go for it. Rock, paper, scissors, shoot. Oh, God. We're going to be here for a while. Just keep going, please. Rock, paper, scissors, shoot. Yep, just keep giving each other high fives. All right, we have 1-0 at the moment. 1-0 over here for Ludovic. If you get this next one, you win. Let's go. My goodness. You're still doing the same stuff. No, same stuff always. Keep going. The players are coming back out on the court. This is unbelievable. Right. It is 1-1. The winner of this one will take it for the family. Please, let's just do it. All right. We have the Lundy Jenkins now. This is where it gets really important. You guys have won anyway, but we're going to bring some basketballs into the action. Thank you very much to Remo Fitness. We've got our Sixers squad here. We need 2 layups, 2
back to the Hungry Jacks NBL. The Adelaide 36ers are leading Melbourne United by 11 at halftime. It's been the Isaac Humphries and Bryce Cotton show to begin this game. So much happening physicality-wise, plenty happening off the ball. Derek Rocker, how have you seen the first half?
Well, it's a very good first half for the Adelaide 36ers. I felt they played balanced basketball, good on the offensive end and good enough on the defensive end. Look at their efficiency, 21 of 36 from the field. They've been outstanding from the three-point line. They've got an advantage in getting to the free throw line. And also, Andrew, their ball security has been outstanding.
Yeah, it's been fantastic by the Adelaide 36ers, but I've been impressed by both these teams. I know they've got a reasonable lead at the halftime break, but this is when everyone talks about, well, why do you preach that the NBL is so great? This is one of those games that you can clearly see the talent, the athleticism, the level of play is as good as you can see anywhere in the world right now.
Absolutely amazing first half by both teams, but an impressive first half by this man. Our Hungry Jacks halftime highlights is Bryce Cotton. He's been superb. He had 12 assists to finish the game. In Perth, he's got 8 to halftime.
Well, he's been great, and the thing I think he surprised people with this season is his ability to actually function as a proper point guard. He's learned the balance between ball distribution and scoring. 8 dimes in the first half is outstanding. He looks after it well, and he makes sure that his big men eat.
No, that's for sure, and he's so smart. One of the underrated things about him is his basketball IQ. He plays a pass ahead. He knows where the defense is coming from. He knows where all the defenders are. And as such, he can find people when he's seen all types of pressure. You look at the numbers of these two in particular. He has given a steady supply of those 13 points that Isaac Humphries have come from Bryce Cotton. And it's just been a spectacular individual performance. He's played some great games. He's only 1 of 4 from the three-point line, but the way in which he's assessed the situation and found the solution has been spectacular to watch.
And also their pick and roll between Cotton and Humphries is turning out to be one of the most potent plays in the NBL. And Kelsey, if Melbourne United do not figure out a way to combat that and provide the requisite resistance, this game's going to get ugly in the third quarter.
Absolutely huge game, and I love your takes on this. I can't wait to see how Melbourne United come out, but we know that this is the first game of a big Friday night doubleheader. We head over to Perth as we welcome in Adelaide Maley, who's going to be courtside for the Perth and Sydney Kings game. Adelaide, welcome in.
Hey guys, I'm super excited, but let me tell you something. I don't think anyone's going to be more excited than the Perth fans. I know that they will be hungry after last week. Speaking to a few of the players before the game, both teams' focus is on their rebounding ability. They think whoever wins the rebound wins the game. A key matchup I'm really looking forward to is Cooks and Doolittle. Both are having amazing seasons. It's kind of who's going to cancel out who, because they're both great offensive players, but defensively too, they really bring it. But yeah, it's going to be a really, really good one tonight. And I absolutely cannot wait. Perth fans, I know they're going to be wanting this one.
We can't wait to see you out there, Annalie. We can't wait to see the battle between Perth and the Sydney Kings. We've got another half to come here at the Adelaide Entertainment Centre. It's Adelaide by 11 at the major break. Melbourne United with plenty of work to do.
And we take on the Wildcats a couple of days later on the 28th. Tickets are selling quick. Don't miss out. broke in that last quarter to have a bit of a lull. But obviously, that was really important that we kept it at the momentum.
Yeah, I think the priority was coming out with energy. We were ready for their physicality early, bracing for that, and kind of getting through our stuff. I thought we did a really good job pushing the pace and playing our tempo.
I just love the synergy between Isaac and also Bryce Cotton at the moment. So Bryce isn't scoring buckets, he's feeding Isaac, and he just looks so confident at the moment.
Yeah, I mean, the crowd loves it, we love it, so we just keep trying to find him on that roll. They'll start bringing them in, bringing the bodies in the shot, so we'll just see if we can make some shots on the backside and see if we can ball this in the post.
So just finally, what's the message then going into this third quarter? There's a reason that Melbourne United are one of the best teams in the competition. We can't take them lightly, and they've got a point to prove.
They have won the game by 1 point.
Hey, come here, man. Boy, hell yeah. You deserve that, big fella. Let's go to the NBC. This is his mark.
I don't know what just happened, to be honest, but Z brought us in together. He said if we're going to go down, we're going to go down swinging. I told him, hell yeah, let's get it, and we clawed out a win.
Down 20, half time.
And it's always the first one. It's like, once you get that, it's like, all right.
Yeah. I'm just glad it wasn't me. 12 assists, 1 turnover. Pissed me off.
Absolutely crazy. It's the wildest game I think I've ever been a part of in my life. I know that's not the result the Red Army wanted, but they definitely got the show they were looking for, I'd say.
Bryce Cotton's return to Perth last Sunday lived up to all expectations. Great to see the Perth fans get behind him as well. An extended version of that story behind the scenes is at NBL.com.au. I've seen it and I would suggest you check it out as well. Take a look at the Mitsubishi Motors 3-point lead. It's Bryce Cotton with 59. He hit 100 last season at 43%. 16 games this season. Only once has he not hit a 3 when he was none of 4 here against the Kings. But he is the king at the moment, and the way he has orchestrated this with 13 points, 8 assists has just been incredible. Double-double watch here, Derek Rucker, and career best form again, you would have to say.
He certainly is, and Melbourne United have to figure out how to control Cotton and Humphries on the on-ball situation, but realistically, looking at the stats, it's a pretty even game, Andrew. If they could just provide a little bit more defensive resistance, they can get back in it.
Both teams back to their original starting 5s. Edwards out there playing with 3 fouls. Here's Doyle, who got going in the second quarter when he had all 13 of his points, and now he's up to 15.
Tough.
Adelaide coming off their highest scoring second quarter of the season. They rattled on 32 in that second term to have 59 at the half, which is their highest scoring first half. They lead by 9. Melbourne hanging tough. Here's Humphrey shut down. Edwards got a piece of the action.
Edwards was taking one across the face.
It was inadvertent. The swipe, he might have just got a clip on the eye. And that can be really painful.
Maybe. We look at that replay. Humphries goes to finish.
Great contest.
I don't know what hit the head. I didn't
look like Cameron got him.
As he's coming down, maybe on the hip of his teammate, perhaps.
Okay, guys.
On Delaney.
He's going to sit down. Maybe Kristolic will check into the game. Great defensive play, so Edwards goes to the bench. 5 points, 5 boards. was dominant when these teams played 7 weeks ago. Melbourne won by a point. He had 25 on 10 of 10 from the field, 7 boards. It's Adelaide by 9. Melbourne looking to eat into the margin that was as big as 15 during the second quarter and 8 in the opening term. Krebs turns around, can't convert, loose ball, getting after it. Dash Daniels found it on the deck. Doyle gets it from Delaney. Fires over Cheatham, got it off quickly and unsuccessfully. Delaney, the O-board, kept it alive and banks 2, and Melbourne are back to within 7.
They're the types of hustle plays you need. Now, because it's an air ball, it's a tough one to rebound, but 9 offensive boards for Melbourne United.
Delaney up to 11 on 5 of 8 shooting. He's got 7 boards, 3 at the offensive end. Cotton, bounce pass, finds Cheatham rolling inside, and Cheatham just his second field goal of the game, first score since quarter time.
Well, he was played very conservatively in that first half after he picked up the second foul. Just played under 9 minutes, Andrew.
Shot clock rolls to 10 here for Doyle. Against Humphries in a mismatch, puts it on the deck now, inside, just over balance and an awkward pass, triples out of court. Melbourne turn it over for the 6th time. Adelaide has 2 in that category.
Well, it's not working the way in which they're handling the on-ball screens, Melbourne United, and they've got to cut off the supply. They've got to do a better job of not being able to hit the roller. And so far, the first couple of possessions here, there hasn't been a dramatic change. Here's Edwards again.
Yep.
Flynn Cameron with that left hand looks like was the cause of that knock to the head.
Those are never easy to come back from because you don't know if the vision has actually been distorted.
Shot clock to 10 here as they harass Cotton. Gives it up to Cheatham, now wants it back, but Daniel's got a hand in the passing lane, and Melbourne, who grabs the momentum here as Delaney charges into Flynn Cameron, who will pick up his second personal.
Excellent foul by Flynn Cameron because he did a good enough job to make his intention not look intentional. But there is no doubt that his sole objective on that play was to commit a foul.
Even against his Tall Blacks teammate. They've had the better of this third quarter so far, Melbourne. Adelaide have just scored 2 points so far. Here's Krebs getting in the action. He elevates up high, draws a foul on Humphries, and that's going to be his second personal, and free throws to come for Melbourne.
Look at the amusement by Isaac Humphries, and he stays vertical. And we take a look at the replay. He goes up.
Just coming forward slightly, Andrew, and that left arm goes below vertical on the contest.
Yeah, but it doesn't hit any arm, so he might consider himself a little unlucky.
Krebs 14 of 15 from the free throw line this season at 93%. Hungry Jack's chance a little ambitious when he's on the line, and when you consider he's shooting the 3 ball at 44%, 90% from the stripe, and 49% from the field, like bordering a 50-40-90 season here. Krebs has been one of the most improved players in the competition. Had a responsibility as well in the starting 5 with the injury problems Melbourne have had. And the margin being cut to 8 here as Cotton elevates and knocks down another 3. That's 2 triples in the game and 18 points in total.
Cheatham's so good at finding Cotton in that situation. Does a good job with that over the top pass, and Cotton raises up and knocks down the 3. Block shot Humphries off Daniels. That's 6 of the ball.
So Daniels in that when Bryce, as we took a look at the Amy replay, Daniels is trying to overplay him, and that opens up that back cut.
You're better off letting him go off and
correct, go off, and then just like when Sydney did that, they let him go off
and then attack,
and then a double team him when he came off it.
Well, we're set up here again in that 2-man ISO in the middle cylinder, and it puts so much pressure on those 2 defenders to execute well.
Cameron one way back, the other to the preferred left hand, and he's got 9 points in the game.
When you talk about local signings in this past offseason, Flynn Cameron is going to be up there in the top 2 or 3 in the league. Troy Brown Jr. whistled for a foul all the way on the other corner.
Gee, completely, could not be further away from the ball.
Well, Drew, if he commits a foul, it's a foul. What do you want the referees to do? Just ignore it?
No, I'm not. I'm questioning why Brown would be so aggressive on that day of play. I'm not questioning the foul.
He's trying to send a message.
Second personal, 3rd team foul, more importantly, on Adelaide in this term. And we've played just a tick over 3 minutes, so they need to make an adjustment there.
Screen.
So Cotton has a foul on Dash Daniels, so it's going to be his third personal.
In case, I love this strategy from the Sixers. They're just isolating Daniels in that middle third of the court. And whether it's a two-man game or an ISO situation, just puts tremendous pressure on Daniels.
Steep learning curve for the next star, turns 18 next week. Second youngest player in the competition, Dash Daniels, up against the best there is. As knocks down the three, that's enough for Dean Vickerman. Margin out to a game-high 16 after Melbourne looked like they were making some inroads. We've got a Tangerine timeout.
And Casey, pre-game, we were discussing Troy Brown Jr. and the fact that he had not hit his straps yet. Well, tonight, he is showing you what he's capable of doing. 8 points, a couple of rebounds, but most importantly, Andrew, he's 2 of 3 from the three-point line.
Yeah, hasn't had a lot of opportunities, but he's made the most of them. It looks comfortable out there, and he's also doing a great job on the defensive end despite that off-the-ball foul.
Plenty of physicality in this game as well. Does that favour either team?
Well, I think it always favours the home team.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it gets a bit of emotion into the game, and I think it sets the tempo and the atmosphere that you're playing in. And you're also at home, sometimes you get the benefit of the doubt a little bit too with a lot of physical plays.
Well, 16 fouls overall on Melbourne, 14 on Adelaide. On average, Adelaide averaged 16, which is the lowest in the competition, but plenty of physicality, and this, as you would expect. Let's get an update on Jesse Edwards and that eye problem as Kelsey Brown was in the corner. See Edwards walking off there.
Now that would be a significant blow for them because they virtually forced to go small with Krislovic.
No, that's okay.
And to me, throwing it down to Isaac Humphries on the low block would be an advantage.
Doyle goes with a one hand, knocked down out of bounds. 12 on the shot clock here from Melbourne. Throwing their best at Adelaide, but 36ers are weathering the storm.
Okay, so it'll be interesting with Adelaide's big man problems. When as Golding lets one fly. Wow. Straight butter from the corner. He needed that one. But it'll be interesting to see when Mike Wells goes with the double big lineup.
And keep an eye out on that. Chance here for Shea Illy. In a hurry back the other way and draws contact. So he's off to the free throw line. Hit the deck hard, but appears to be okay.
I got you on the inside arm. I can't see you when you come down this lane.
Shea Illy with 9 points. He's one of the few United players that's in the positive plus minus.
Third personal foul on Flynn Cameron. And Shea Illy to the free throw line. Way short. He hasn't played for 27 days. Well, one game in 11 weeks.
The Friday night, and the natives are hungry.
They are. That's right. 74, thereabouts, 74% career free throw shooter, so not terrible. And
I've never heard a more enthusiastic cheer. What a promo.
Indeed. So 4 minutes played here in term number 3. Good pressure from Melbourne, just taking Adelaide out of their rhythm, but Cotton goes back to work on Illy. Great hustle, Krislovic gets down on the deck to win it back for Melbourne, and Golding for the finishing touches against Flynn Cameron. He talked him out of it.
Great play, Flynn Cameron.
Here's Vasiljevic for the 3.
Big time momentum play by the Sixers. Great defense by Cameron, and then BJ knocks down a long 3. Oh boy.
Vasiljevic now 3 of 4 from deep.
And if you add a few words to Shea Illy, he thought there was something dirty in that play. And that's bread and butter for DJ Vasiljevic.
He's 3 of 4 from deep, and little chicken wing.
A little, but I tell you, if you're getting screened, just flop on the floor and you've got a reasonable chance to get a call.
Foul problems starting to mount for Melbourne United. Shaili was his third. Dash Daniels already has 3. Edwards has 3. And in the change rooms, receiving attention to an injured eye suffered here in the third quarter. Vasiljevic getting busy. Can't convert. Delaney grabs the rebound. That's number 8 for him to go with his 11 points. That's the ball carrying duties as well. Coppins for Goldie. They're down 15, Melbourne. Middle stages of the third. They need a bucket. They find the corner man, Delaney, and he overdid it. Cheatham puts a stop to it.
Good ball movement there by United, though, Case. Just missed the shot. But they've got to dig in on this end of the floor and string together some stops.
It's Cotton. Ellie's second effort was good. And the ball trickles out of court. Whistle on the play as well.
It's starting to be a trend now for Melbourne United in the way in which they guard the three-point line. Adelaide now at 9 of 17, 53% from the field. And this is
third personal called on Cheatham here.
2 shots, 43. White.
So they're over the limit. So we'll walk to the other end of the floor. And Chris Golding's going to take free throws. Cheatham has not fouled out of a game this season.
Hold on. Loose ball foul.
Loose ball foul.
2 shots.
Here we go, line up.
Who's the loose ball foul? Mark. Who's the foul?
Cheatham claiming it. Cheatham's foul, his third.
Well, Drew, right here, Cheatham's got 3 fouls. His night's been hampered somewhat because of foul trouble. Do you ride with him here with 4.5 to go to the third?
I don't think so. I think you can afford to give him a spell with a nice 15-point lead, make that 14. Things are going okay.
Jesse Edwards back to the bench and appears to be a little bit travelling a little bit better. That's good signs for Melbourne. It's 37 games in the NBL, Zylan Cheatham. He's only fouled out once, and that was when he was playing with the Breakers. With an interesting stage of the game. Adelaide by 13, 4.5 to play in the third, but it feels closer than that. Cameron, shot clock to 10, wants to go solo. That was good defensive pressure. Coppin's got a piece of the action there. And they force the stoppage, and Adelaide has the possession arrow.
And we talk about development and young players, and Glenn Cameron, a young professional. Drew, you can see the in-game development now paying off, and we're not even to Christmas. He's a significantly better player than we saw in September.
Oh, my word. And I think he had it in him. He's had this in him for a while, but he just haven't had the playing opportunity. Now he's getting the opportunity, and he's showing what he's capable of doing.
A season high of 20 for Flynn Cameron. He's led the 36ers in rebounding and assists in various games as well, and has started every game this season.
Averaging a little over 26 minutes a game. His career average before this season was 13, so almost double the playing time.
A little over 4 minutes to play until three-quarter time.
Wow.
Got a back from Cheatham at the end short, but he tips it in, and that's the 2 nonetheless. He's up to 20.
Follows up his shot by jumping off of a mini tramp in the floor.
Yeah, for me, I'm locking and trailing rather than trying to top lock and not allowing to accept the screens.
Long shot from the outside, Golding. Cotton's everywhere at the moment. 20 points, 10 assists, 3 rebounds for him. Coming off 20 and 12 assists against Perth. Well, Rakocevic is going to be called for the foul there, and as Illy hits the deck once more, and Rakocevic gets his third personal.
This is another example of what I've been talking about.
Well, he wants to challenge this.
He's moving his slightest of move.
That's the slightest of movement, Andrew, but I just don't think that's a foul. I don't think that warrants a whistle.
Yeah, we've seen a lot of that. That one, you could see him just sliding, but just 5 to 10 centimeters sliding.
Edwards against Cheatham, undersized, and with those foul problems, helps himself to 2 more. Now, there's some momentum building here for Melbourne.
I think that matchup, I'd be going to it if I was United, try and get that fourth foul on Cheatham.
And they've gone back with Coppins on Bryce Cotton, and that's going to count. It's going to be goaltending. So it's going to be an and one, 3-point opportunity.
Isaac White does a good job, realizes the floor is spread, puts a little reverse layup up, draws the foul, and Andrew, you didn't like the call. You're a bit bemused. You don't think it was a goaltend.
Well, he didn't disrupt the rim. Yes, he hit the net, but my understanding, and I have to check the rules, but you have to disrupt the rim or something. Surely just a grazing of the net. Had no bearing on the shot.
Went back. Adam and Cheatham climbed high and rejected the shot. And hit the back hard. Cotton at the other end for the finishing touch is worried out of it. Humphries kept it alive, got rid of Edwards and added the two.
I love it.
Isaac Humphries answering Kelsey's question earlier, who's playing more physically? It's clearly the Adelaide 36ers as Humphries bullies everybody in the paint.
And the passion I love just as much. The energy that he brings, that's infectious.
Game high, 18-point lead, inside 3 minutes left, term number 3. Edwards trying to muscle his way forward, called for a travelling violation.
Look at this highlight as Doyle goes in there and Cheatham absolutely pounds it off the glass. Woo!
Love the hustle from Zylan Cheatham. Here's Humphries at the other end.
Get off me.
He just wanted it more. And look at this.
100th game for the 36ers, and he is loving it. That's a play that we wouldn't have seen from Isaac Humphries in previous seasons. He's energized. He's been taking on this leadership role, and he wants the success. He wants to play hard.
Increased appreciation from the coaching staff and from his teammates has led to an increase in his self-belief. He's always had the physical ability and the tools, and now we are seeing the full manifestation of all of that, Drewy.
Yeah, it's a delight to watch too. Isaac Humphries is a guy that when he first came into the league, I coached him for that season, and you know he had other things going on. Just comes so young, coming into a professional league. It's taken him a while to figure out his strengths, and we've seen it all on display here. I think early on he was thinking to get to the NBA the way the game is now, I've got to show that I can shoot the perimeter shot. Now he's just gone and stick with his strength, and when you've got guys like Bryce Cotton, and even that year when Josh Giddey was here, made him just a key figure in that pick and roll, and he seems to just love the game more than perhaps he did when he first came into the league.
I think you're right, Andrew. He does love the game a little bit more. I spoke with him pre-game and said I'd looked at the clips from his 5 games with the Atlanta Hawks 5 years ago, and he said, well, that wouldn't have taken too long. He knocked down 2 threes in a game, and I said, you don't do that anymore. He said, no, I came here, and Daniel Johnson was involved, and we both couldn't stand on the 3-point line firing away, and DJ was a better shooter, so I had to change my game. Here's Cotton. Vasiljevic. Shot clock for single digits here, and that hasn't been a regular occurrence in the game for Adelaide. There's Vasiljevic. Ball away, couldn't get it done. Humphries had it and was dislodged. Important play here for Melbourne as they try and resurrect this at the moment. They're playing well but find themselves down 18 against a formidable opponent. Coppins gets his own rebound. Bowen, Doyle, the danger man. Rattles around. Loose ball, Edwards has got it here and he gets it done and is fouled in the process. Now Cheatham's in the vicinity there. This could be foul number 4.
Well, perseverance paid off there for Melbourne United as Jesse Edwards just hung around and was able to scoop up the loose ball, and by the looks of that screen, that is 4 on Zylan Cheatham. Mike Wells rolled the dice.
Oh, he's going to challenge.
May as well.
He's going to challenge this.
Up 16, I think this is a good challenge, Andrew, because it could potentially save a foul on Cheatham.
Mike Wells is 0-5 this season on coaches' challenges.
Perhaps not a good challenge, Jason.
No, surely he's got some
why he's challenging.
Of course, but surely he's got some advice from his video guy before he makes that challenge.
Well, what happened the other 5 times?
The way the assistant coaches are looking up at that scoreboard, they don't look like they're all that confident.
That's a foul.
No, it's not.
Yeah, they are. They're going to call a little swipe on his arm.
But he just hits the ball.
Watch.
No, he hits the ball, Derek. What are you looking at?
That might have occurred before that.
There.
From Humphries.
No, he hits the
He
ball.
got his forearm, Drew.
There was no part of his arm that was hit.
All right, let's see.
This is why it's so hard for the coaches' challenge. Now Mike Wells is 0-6.
What?
Admittedly, Andrew, in your defense, even though you were incorrect, that angle wasn't very revealing. It wasn't convincing.
Let's go to Scott Butler for the explanation. Scotty.
Okay, so when you process the play, 45, the defender hits the ball initially. Edwards still has control of the ball in the act of shooting. His defender's hand then slips down the forearm of the shooter. That's where the foul occurs. Challenge will be unsuccessful.
Oh, geez, I don't see that. Maybe they've got a different angle, but I didn't see that going to the bicep or the forearm or anywhere. But
well, I tried to tell you when I saw it, but you didn't want to believe me. Now Scotty Butler confirms it. Where do you want us to go now?
No, I'm just saying we differ from what my eyes showed me. That's and my eyes are wrong, I guess.
Well, they've got their hands full here, Melbourne United. Let's go to Kelsey.
Yeah, listening to Dean Vickerman, he's doing everything he can. No surprise that he asked for more stops on the defensive end. He spoke about being outplayed, outmuscled. They need to play bigger. He said we've got one foul to give, but I have to say, guys, not much chat from the rest of the players. It was all led by Dean Vickerman. It seems like someone needs to step up.
Well, inside the last 2 minutes of this third term, then Cameron's in the corner. Can't finish it. Daniels' athletic rebound.
Drew, right now with Cheatham on 4 fouls, there's a little window of opportunity that's opened up for Melbourne United. They need to make it grow.
Well, Adelaide just said, well, we're just going to go small ball. So they got 4 guards out there with Isaac Humphries.
And Doyle elevating. He caught the 3 a little deep. Flynn Cameron with the loose ball. So they're up 16, 90 seconds out from three-quarter time. And Cameron, foul to give here, Melbourne, as Cameron gets Doyle going the wrong way, but can't finish it. Loose ball. Isaac White came up with it. United cannot afford that type of error as Cotton gets a user-friendly roll. He's got 22, 10 assists, 5 boards now for Bryce Cotton.
Cotton with the soft touch.
Everything Melbourne does, Adelaide are doing just that little bit better. Doyle, baseline. Into a dead end with Humphries. Wanted Edwards, got it to him eventually. Edwards couldn't finish from close range. Gets his own rebound. And now falling out of court. Looks as though he has drawn a foul here. Adelaide over the limit, so more free throws to come. Humphries may have his 4th personal. In fact, it's a 3rd.
Case, Adelaide have been extremely physical with Jesse Edwards. On his catches away from the basketball, it's almost as if they're trying to challenge him physically.
Yeah, that's right. And the one bucket he had earlier with the duck-in play, I think that's the way you get to him, where you can just run the duck in and he doesn't have to, you just go up and rise above.
Reminder, the Ignite Cup is going to be on the Gold Coast, Feb 22, presented by Disney+. You can catch all the latest updates. Just head to nbl.com.au/Ignite Cup and check out the ladder right now. New Zealand on top, Perth a 2nd, Tassie a 3rd. I think Adelaide are going to make the final.
Of course you do, Case.
They played one game and won it, and they play Sydney next Wednesday on that 3rd leg, and then they've got Brisbane and Cairns after that in the Ignite Cup. They're looking as though they might get there.
So you're thinking New Zealand and Adelaide?
And I'm thinking I need to be there.
Right.
I'm happy to join you, Case.
Red numbers on the shot clock here for Flynn Cameron. Pulls the trigger but can't convert. They lead by 17 at the moment. Been able to exploit the absence of Cheatham. 3 fouls. They had on Humphries as well. So the last play of the 3rd.
You've got a mismatch down low.
Here's Doyle. Kicks outside. Daniels gets a good look and peels off the triple. Right on the buzzer. Melbourne United claim a triple, and they drag the margin back to within 14 points with a quarter to play. It's Adelaide 81, Melbourne 67, 3/4 time here in the Hungry Jacks NBL.
That's massive. That's a great catch in the back as well. It's a good start. How are we over here? Come on, 6 is started.
One term remains here in the Hungry Jacks NBL Friday night hoops between the Adelaide 36ers and Melbourne United. It's 81 for Adelaide, plays 67 Melbourne United. Bryce Cotton leads the way with 22 points. I listened into the Adelaide timeout, and quite the contrary to Melbourne United. It was a collaborative approach with all the players. Bryce Cotton spoke up and he said, keep attacking the paint offensively, and defensively they've set themselves the task of 3 stops in a row.
Thanks very much, Kelsey. Who wins from here, gentlemen?
Well, I think it's pretty clear that Adelaide is in control, but last week I thought Perth was in control, so don't listen to me, Case.
Well, I dare say that Mike Wells would have mentioned that in that three-quarter time break, just to say, hey, fellas, remember what we did last week? Right. It's clearly capable. Let's behave ourselves out here, stick to what we've been doing. Do not take the foot off the pedal, or else you're going to be you're going to have problems.
They rolled the dice with Cheatham. He's out there with 4 fouls to start this last quarter. Well done, Illy. Deflected the ball away from Cotton, now gets it back from Krebs, muscles his way in, gets the 2, draws a foul. Good start to the turn from Melbourne.
Smart play there by Illy. Just nudges his body in the ground to draw contact. And we know Shea's got great hands around the basket.
My word, he does. Look, and that's what you did. He comes into Brown, and to me that's a no call, because it was actually Illy that was instigating the contact. He's having a good game. For a guy who's been out for a considerable amount of time, he's got the 13 points and has been responsible with the deflection down the other end.
And now he's matched up head-to-head on Cotton.
Season high for Shea Illy, 13 on 5 of 6 shooting. Grabs some momentum here. Margin cut to single digits. Cotton off the mark. Edwards fouled by Humphries. And Humphries is going to pick up his 4th personal.
And that window that I talked about for Melbourne United, it is opened a little bit wider, Case. Both bigs now on 4 fouls. Humphries has been outstanding in this game with 17 points and 6 boards, and now they'll have to play extended minutes with Nick Rakocevic, who's a very capable backup. But he's not Isaac Humphries.
No, that's for sure. And he's just got to do a job on the boards and try and contain Edwards down low.
Rakocevic and Flynn Cameron, the only Adelaide players to foul out this season. As Melbourne come up empty. They've cut the margin to 9 here, and it played in this final quarter. Remembering they clutched victory from the jaws of defeat when these teams played 7 weeks ago, knocking down the last bucket of the game after Adelaide had led for more of the game, and by 6 with 3 minutes to play, Cameron, ambitious, couldn't get it to go. Now Illy pushing the tempo against Cotton. Contact and the whistle. Foul's going to be called on Bryce. That's 3 on him, 3 on Adelaide in 90 seconds here in the 4th.
And right now, I wouldn't be surprised if Mike Wells brought Isaac White into the game. He needs somebody that can pierce this defense, as United has extended it. And Shea Illy playing with a lot of pressure on the offensive end, pushing that ball hard, drawing fouls.
Illy exploring, goes to the right hand, tough shot, couldn't get it done. Rakocevic hands over to Cotton, who feeds Cameron up the floor. Adelaide looking for their first score of this final quarter, almost 2 minutes play. Cameron rejected by Jesse Edwards. Now Cheatham gets after the loose ball in traffic, finds Cotton, double team. Vasiljevic, he's off the mark.
United catch a break.
Adelaide none of 3. Start the quarter. Edwards throws down the dunk and has got some advice for Rakocevic as well. The margin's back to 7.
And it looked like there could have been an N1.
Big time.
As well.
So the momentum again shifting. Cheatham against Edwards. Feeds outside. Vasiljevic is fouled. First team foul on Melbourne in this last quarter. And a painful one as well.
starts here. We good.
And Daniels took one to the midsection as DJ shot faked him and got him off the ground. Oh, that's awkward. Both ways.
Yeah, I think he
Sideline ball. Sorry.
probably gets
Sideline
winded
ball,
a little. Dash more to the stomach than the testicles.
Fourth personal foul on Dash Daniels. Season high 22 team fouls on Adelaide in this game. A nice moment there between Vasiljevic and the teenager.
Yeah, that's part of the game. There's nothing, nothing malicious at all about it.
But I thought that was an opportunity for DJ to go into a one-dribble three ball. Instead, he elected to draw the contact.
Cotton guarded by Illy. Single digits on the shot clock. They left an opening for him. He feeds outside for Flynn Cameron, and he knocks down the three.
Huge shot.
Margin back to double digits. As Krebs comes up empty. Cheatham had it knocked out of his hands. Melbourne will get possession.
Bodies flying everywhere. Delaney went flying.
Rakocevic, there was contact with Rakocevic and Delaney off the ball. Emotions starting to get very high. Doyle comes back in. He's had an interesting night. 5 of 17. Excuse me. Yeah, 5 of 17. But has been responsible for some big buckets. Have a look at the Amy replay. The kick-out pass. Nice stroke by Flynn Cameron.
Now 2 of 6 from the three.
At the top of the screen under the Amy replay, there's a little...
Rakocevic has some words for Delaney.
Well, there's a little bit of contact. And
so you need a player like Rakocevic on your team.
We're reviewing the last play.
He's physical.
Oh, yeah, I'm just letting you know.
He's unapologetic about the way he plays.
Are they reviewing? I think they're reviewing the Rakocevic situation
Just to
with
see
the
if
contact.
it falls under an act of violence. So they're going to just have a review of this.
I know, but I look at something like I know. It's a quick play and it's like
It's been a good fight back from Melbourne, though. When these teams played 7 weeks ago, Melbourne won at 81-80. It's their lowest score of the year, 81, and they still won the game. Have a look at this on the replay.
At the top of your screen. Oh, yeah, that's
definitely going to be upgraded.
My word, it is.
An elbow, a forearm shiver above the shoulder. And this will definitely get whistled. And I believe the referees right now are discussing the logistics of the punishment.
Right here, man. We've got to go. We've got a disqualifying foul here.
Oh, it's a disqualifying foul
here for the elbow.
Rakocevic is out of the game. Ejected for the second time this season.
No, it's a disqualifying foul. Elbow to the face and force. We reviewed the disqualifying foul for active violence.
Well, it's more impactful this
here.
as well because of their foul situation. They needed him. The arm comes up. You just can't do that. That's
clearly not a basketball play. He doesn't turn the box out and try and put an arm into the sternum.
And it's
Instead,
high.
he puts it right above into his chin-jaw area.
And we all know how sensitive we need to be with head injuries, and he just didn't need to do it. It's a poor play by Rakocevic. It's action itself, but also the responsibility he has when he looks down the bench.
Right.
He's got Humphries on the 4 fouls, as well as Cheatham. You just can't afford to do that. The team needs you. Plus, it's going to end up with a couple here and possession.
Well, now he's put Isaac Humphries and Mike Wells in a situation where Humphries' duration in this game is now under jeopardy. As he's been put back in the game with 7:16 on the clock, he'll have to be super mindful of how he plays. And if I'm Melbourne United, I'm going after Humphries right here.
Yeah.
And or Cheatham. Still more than 7 minutes on the clock here.
I think this is a realization for Mike Wells of how important this next couple of minutes is, that he's rolling the dice with both these guys on 4.
It's Krebs muscling his way in from close range. It adds to 2, so it's a 6-point ball game. This is as close as Melbourne has been since early in the second term.
Smart play there by Krebs. Just attack the paint.
Still Almost 7 minutes to play here. Adelaide got some work to do after dominating the game, leading by double digits for a long period. Cotton trying to draw contact, eventually does. Foul is on Daniels, and he is out of the game. That's 5 fouls on Dash Daniels.
And the craftiness of Bryce Cotton, when he gets in front, he's able to use the space to get in front of Daniels, and Daniels virtually has to stop to avoid fouling. See, a little step across. Doesn't look like much, but that's just reading your defender and using your body to draw that foul.
And the other thing, Bryce's physical makeup is such that the slightest bit of contact is going to send him moving.
Yeah.
And when you're lighter, that movement is accentuated, and referees are quick to blow the whistle.
Game number 275 tonight for Bryce Cotton. First time in his career he's had back-to-back games with 20 points and double-figure assists. 3.5 played here in this final quarter. Margin at 8. Golding fires and knocks down the triple. It's a 5-point ball game.
Nice set there from United. Knew exactly what they wanted to get and how to get there. And Golding knocks down his 15th point of the game.
Eventually that line Cotton foul's going to be on Doyle. So a third team foul here on Melbourne. Doyle has his third personal.
You just got to keep your hands out. He's pivoting so much. And when you're that close and your hands are moving, it's inadvertent, but there's a chance you're going to make contact. See the hands, how active hands. He just takes a swipe on the ball. Commits the foul.
Troy Brown Jr. checks back in for Zylan Cheatham. Cheatham did an outstanding job in his minutes on the court with those 4 fouls.
5 points, 5 boards for Cheatham in this game. Here's Cameron aggressively. Nice bounce past Humphries. Again made room for the shot, but it's waved away, and a travelling violation is called on Isaac Humphries.
Yeah.
This side.
Sliding the pivot foot as he tried to gather himself.
And the energy has gone from joyous to uptight in the Adelaide Entertainment Centre, and you called it perfectly, Andrew.
Yeah, and that's just Isaac Humphries being aware of the shot blocking ability of Edwards. He just powers that up, but that extra pause and the sliding of the feet was caused the travel.
Ooh. Doyle rushes to the rack and gets it done. He adds the 2, now is 17 to lead Melbourne, and the margin is cut to 3.
Smooth crossover, then he hit turbo. Great finish by Milton Doyle. Melbourne United back in it.
16-5 in this quarter in favour of Melbourne United, has them right back in the frame with 5.5 to play. Been this close since the start of the second, and Adelaide cough it up. They turn it over for just the 7th time in the game, make that 8, and Cotton has 3 of those.
Wow. What a spectacular turnaround by Melbourne United. Just to grind it out and keeping somewhat touch distance. And now the defense is paying dividends.
He got fouled. Golding is fouled. He goes to the stripe for 3, and Adelaide over the limit here with more than 5 minutes to play.
Good set again there for Melbourne United. Their offensive execution has lifted significantly here in this 4th quarter. And Golding now goes to the line, Drewy, to tie this up.
Yeah, it is. Mike Wells trying to argue that he kicked his feet out, but I didn't see it on that occasion.
Well, Melbourne have had Adelaide's number, as I mentioned, since the 2018 Grand Final. They've won 15 of the last 20. This is a great response after losing by 25 in Southeast Melbourne Phoenix in their last game, their heaviest defeat of the season.
And it's been a shootout. And Melbourne United have done a great job adjusting offensively, playing without Tyson Walker. They've had some foul issues throughout the course of the game, but they've adapted well, and the Sixers, for the first time, are not in the lead.
Well, that's right, and Matt Kenyon comes in, so defense is becoming a priority because they're struggling to score the Adelaide 36ers, so Kenyon comes in, off the ball foul.
On Coppins, that's number 4 on United. Obviously, continuation waved away. It's a 19-5 run in this quarter from Melbourne.
Wow. Yeah, they just, both ends of the floor have only been playing 5 minutes, or a little under 5,
and Adelaide just 1 of 6 from the field. They just haven't been able to get their hands on it. Here's Cameron. Melbourne can't afford to foul now.
He carried that ball.
They find Kenyon in the corner. Reluctant shooter, gives it up. Troy Brown Jr.'s been good. Can't get that to roll. Chance for United to take the lead for the first time since the opening 90 seconds of the game.
Wow, that's a foul on Kenyon as he just grabbed Golding away from the basketball. And of course the haters are going to say he flopped, but there was contact. He'll go to the line to shoot 2.
There certainly was contact. As Kenyon tried to fight over the screen. And now they got a chance to take the lead.
Unbelievable. Speaking of unbelievable, how about the 100-year tour of the Harlem Globetrotters? 100 years of thrills, laughs, joy. And they're coming to Australia. It's your chance to be a part of this. Across Australia and New Zealand. Get your tickets now. Scan the QR code to the NBL.com.au website. And you will have a lot of fun. Melbourne United has taken the lead here on the back of a 20-5 run. Make it 21-5, and they've got their biggest lead of the game.
Well, on the defensive end case, they've been able to stymie the Adelaide 36ers pick and roll game, and the Sixers will go back to it here.
Cotton attracted all the attention. Troy Brown Jr. with it now. Gives it back to Cotton, who elevates and kills off the triple and back on top.
Tremendous jumper.
What foul.
That is special.
27 points, 11 assists, 5 boards for Cotton. Edwards from close range, and that bucket's going to count as well as United take the lead. We expected this to be a heavyweight showdown, and they are going blow for blow.
Well, it's got everything. It's a very physical game, high energy, lots of scoring, Andrew, and we're past the stage of trying to put together a good 40-minute defensive effort. You've just got to come up with critical stops at this point of the game now and convert them on the other end.
Well, they've also just lost a point, the Adelaide 36ers. We thought it was a 3-ball in the corner, but Cotton's actually stepped on the line, so it's only going to be a 2. So it's a 2-point lead now.
Rice's 3 in the corner is a 2, not a 3. Last shot. They're adjusting the score now.
Explanation from Mark Grist there to
Rice's
Mike
last
Wells.
shot is a 2, not a 3. Rice's last shot is a 2, not a 3.
That's tough, Drew, because every point matters.
Dean goes, I'll take that. I'm sure you will.
A little over 4 minutes to play. It's been a rollicking night. Trust you have enjoyed our coverage of the Hungry Jacks NBL first versus second on the ladder. As Cotton this time fires from 3-point territory, can't get it done. Dried up for Adelaide at the offensive end. They are 2 of 9 from the field in this quarter. Doyle lost control. Here's Cotton. Brown Jr. in support. Cheatham alongside him as well. Less than 4 minutes on the clock. Here's Cotton once more. In the corner. Finds the open man. It's Brown. He can't convert. And stepping out of court, Delaney under pressure there from Humphries.
The Browns missed 2 wide open threes. And that's what he's been brought in to do. That's his job. He needs to make those threes, and to miss them both. We see a change with DJ Physicality coming in. Brown checks out.
Well, Mike Wells obviously agrees with you, Andrew, except he has the power, the agency to actually affect change, and he was decisive.
Ooh. From the restart, Clint Delaney stole it back for Melbourne United. They lead by 2. What a last quarter this has been. 23-7. Melbourne has outscored Adelaide. And after they looked in all sorts of trouble, down 18 in the third, and now looking like winners. A little over 3 minutes to play, and Bryce Cotton comes forward almost at the point of exhaustion. Beats Cheatham, who gets down low, banks home the 2, draws a foul. A little bit of afters as well here.
And Finn Delaney was late in sliding over and rotating in his attempt to take that charge. Outstanding finish by Cheatham. Look how powerful he is. He just moved Delaney out of the way. Finishes nicely and one.
When you're that, and it happens so quick, but when you're fractionally late like that, you got to try and you know you're committed and you know you're going to get called. You just got to find a way to make contact with the arm so that it's not there for the N1.
72% free throw shooter this season, Zylan Cheatham, but with 3 minutes to play and scores level, it'll get a little bit harder.
Do they ever?
Nice stroke there. And he's only 3 of 3 from the field. Hasn't been one of more of his productive games. It's just the foul trouble has really hindered his flow and his ability to impact the game.
He took the one shot in the first half, Zylan Cheatham. So less than 3 minutes to play. Adelaide by 1. Here's Doyle working to an opening. Jumped out. Anelli, smallest man on the floor, came up with the O-ball. Kept it alive for Goldie. He's off the mark with a three. Wow. Sky for the rebound.
He got beaten to the first one by Illy. Refused to be beaten to the second one.
Gets over the halfway line just in the required 8 seconds. And here's Humphries muscling his way in close.
That's a bad
and it's
call.
called for an offensive foul, and he is out of the game.
Wow.
Adelaide do not have a coach's challenge to try and get this back. Humphries fouls out for the first time in 2 years in his 100th game as a 36er.
My instinct, Andrew, was that he was not positioned to take that charge. And by he, I mean Finn Delaney, I believe it was, that drew it.
Yeah, he got there. It's one of the, it's a bang play.
It is.
It could have gone either way on first impressions. Let's have a look at the replay. Ooh. Again, it's tough. Was he?
I think that's a bad call.
Sliding across, or is he just going back?
I think he's going across. I think Mike Wells needed his coach's challenge. So Humphries out, Daniels out. Still more than 2 minutes to play, and Adelaide in front by 1. We've had it all here in the Hungry Jacks NBL on a Friday night, and we've still got Perth against Sydney to come. Here's Milton Doyle exploring. Couldn't finish it. Cheatham the rebound.
He didn't need the reverse when all said and done.
Inside hand finish on the same side of the backboard would have sufficed.
And Cheatham couldn't find a passing lane. Back to Bryce Cotton. As Troy Brown Jr. gives it up to Cheatham. They're out of sorts at the moment, Adelaide. But you give it to Bryce Cotton and good things can happen. He's off the mark and Brown can't control it, so Melbourne will get possession. What a fight back this has been. Adelaide restricted to just 10 points in this quarter, and 23 have arrived for Melbourne.
And Drew, I thought Bryce Cotton has had a couple of opportunities to get into his step back when he's got that ball in his left hand. He hasn't quite gone to it yet. That time he opted for a one-footed floater. I thought step back game was available.
Just 1 of 5 from the field in this last quarter, Bryce Cotton. Only 4 points. And the fans are anxious here in Adelaide. They sit on top of the ladder for the first time in 7 years, but Melbourne want top spot back. Neither team can make things happen at the offensive end at the moment. Less than 90 seconds to play. Adelaide by 1. Both teams in front in this last quarter as Cotton works to a 3-ball. It's off the mark. Flynn Cameron, the O-board, and he's fouled. He's going to the free throw line.
Milton Doyle is shaking his head as to say poor call. But the bottom line is Flynn Cameron got inside position on the shot and was able to come up with this offensive rebound. Great job by Cameron. That looks like a foul to me, Drew.
No doubt in the back over the top, and the little fellas on the O glass. We saw down the other end Shea Illy a few possessions ago sneak in and come up with none. This time it's Flynn Cameron.
Makes the first, so it's Adelaide by 2. Flynn Cameron, 79% free throw shooter this season, up to 13 points.
Milton Doyle, 6 of 21. I think this is Chris Golden time for me. He's got to be the priority on the offensive end.
Well, this is the benefit of having Doyle out there in that it frees up more space for Golding to make plays.
They Nice handoff, Illy. Shot clock works to 10. Melbourne down 3. As we move inside the last 60 seconds, it's Golding. He's off the mark. Delaney, the O board, looked off the tee and adds the 2. He's got 17. Mike Wells wants timeout here. 55.8 seconds to play. It's Adelaide 93, Melbourne 92. Wow, what a Friday night this has been, living up to all expectations. Adelaide looking to protect top spot on the ladder, and Melbourne United bouncing back after an horrendous performance, losing by 25 to the Phoenix last week. This has been a good recovery, and when you consider that Tyson Walker, who won the game for them when they played 7 weeks ago, isn't here, they've done a great job. And Shea Illy, season high 13 points, a couple of assists, a steal, just a 1 turnover on 5 of 7 shooting. He has been massive.
It is, and some great work on the O boards by both these teams, but it's Melbourne United leading that way 17 to 14, and none more critical than what we've seen here in the last quarter for Melbourne United to giving their team a few extra opportunities.
Rollicking Friday night in the Hungry Jacks NBL in Adelaide. Derek Rucker, Andrew Gaze here. Where else would you want to be?
Well, both teams, as we have a look at Ken Cole, the great man, both teams have shown the championship fabric. Melbourne United showed it in getting back in this game, and of course the Sixers in that first half in which they were dominant.
So Adelaide with the lead and possession. Last week they escaped from Perth with a 95-94 win. Coming from 20 down in the last quarter, Cotton feeds Cheatham. Good extension, excellent finish off glass. He's got 10 points on 4 of 4 shooting.
How's the faith Bryce Cotton has with his teammates?
Illy bounces into Vasiljevic, pulls the trigger on a triple. There to be contact after the shot. It goes
My
on
goodness. DJ Vasiljevic just takes the legs out of Shea Illy, and looked like.
And Vickerman calls timeout.
Wait, guys, I'm reviewing the out of bounds. Okay? We're reviewing the out of bounds. We're reviewing the out of bounds.
We're reviewing the out of bounds.
We're checking the out of bounds. Once the out of bounds is done, we can have a timeout if you wish. Stay on the call, everyone, please.
So they're going to get the players out there while they review the out of bounds play.
Well, that Melbourne United ball off of Flint Cameron.
It does look like it, doesn't it? Yeah. Flint Cameron looked like the last touch.
But Andrew, what we are more concerned about was the
shot
action between Illy and Vasiljevic.
Yeah.
Here we go.
Need to be contact after the shot.
Let's go, please. White ball. Time out.
Here it is.
Time out.
He comes into his landing space.
Time out, Melbourne.
Might have. From that angle, didn't look as offensive, but still looked like there was taking out his landing space.
Tangerine timeout called by Dean Vickerman. Bryce Cotton's 26, just 4 in this last quarter. Golding has 20, including 8 in this final turn. Humphries has fouled out for Adelaide, and likewise Dash Daniels for Melbourne.
So coming out of this timeout, it's a baseline out of bounds for Melbourne United, down 3 with 28 to go, Drew. Obviously, a quick inbound score would be fantastic.
Yeah.
Gives you a chance to set up the D and press.
You don't necessarily need a 3.
No.
What you need is, your point being, is you need a quick bucket. You want a quick one if it's not a 3.
But no need to rush and force something that is
correct.
Poor quality.
You don't want to take a wild 3.
Right.
That's highly contested with a low percentage.
So now, Case, we talk about the targets. If you could get some type of action that frees Edwards up towards the basket where he can get a high-quality look around the rim, I think that's ideal.
And of course, Chris Golding's the one that you've got to be uber sensitive with right now, because he can knock down the 3. He's been great in this last quarter.
Both teams in the bonus. 28 seconds to play. Adelaide by 3. Melbourne, well, they got the ball in quickly. Delaney banks two, draws a foul. He can tie it away from the free throw line.
Well, that's exactly what I talked about. Action right at the rim. Delaney blows the first one. Works hard, gets it back, and in a fortuitous set of circumstances, draws the foul from Cotton and finishes.
Wow.
So Delaney at the stripe, 2 or 3 so far tonight, and 81% on the season.
Is that a foul, Derek?
I would not have called it, and Delaney's got a smirk on his face.
He ties it away.
Timeout, Adelaide.
Adelaide called timeout, and Mike Wells is trying to shut it down, but he's got timeout here. 26.5 seconds to play. Delaney.
There's another look at it.
Yeah, the hand on the hip is probably what brought him undone.
And it's unlucky for Bryce because he was actually falling down due to losing his balance.
Yeah.
Reaches out to try and brace himself, and that is the reason why he got called for that foul. But again, let's talk about the strategy here, Drew. 26.5.
I think you're waiting. I think you're using as much as the shot clock as you possibly can.
I'm shooting this ball with less than 2 seconds on the shot clock.
Yeah, I think you're waiting until you get to around the 6-second mark in the shot clock before you then get to your action, whatever that action might be. And I would think that a play at the rim, they're in the bonus, and try to get to the rim, see if you can get a call. Or a shot at the rim.
High percentage play is what they're after.
And at the rim, defense collapse, kick out, 3 ball. But it's got to be some action getting downhill.
Melbourne United, obviously, on the foul. Adelaide goes to the line to shoot 2, so they have to be great defensively as they apply some pressure up the floor.
95 apiece.
Hold on.
And issue with the clock not starting, so so we'll reset that and go again. Everyone's a little nervous here at the moment. Top spot and championship favoritism on the line here. Bryce Cotton in his 275th game of NBL action has never fouled out, but he's on 4 fouls. He's got the ball now. The most dangerous man in the NBL.
Just got it over the 8-second.
Guarded by the defensive player of the year. He milks the clock.
No screen, straight ISO.
Are we going to extra time? Oh, Illy's stolen it, a chance for Melbourne here. They get it to Doyle. Tries to draw contact, can't finish it. Extra time it is. We are going to overtime here. Adelaide and Melbourne cannot be separated. It's 95 apiece.
Well, the ISO for Bryce Cotton, he's not even able to get a shot up. So excellent defense by Melbourne United, but that's hard to take into the overtime, and they'd be feeling pretty good that they didn't give up a bucket down the other end because there was plenty of time. Milton Doyle forced to throw up a prayer. Shea Illy, one of the all-time great defenders. And he just lost the handle, Bryce.
28-14 in the last quarter. Melbourne comes from 14 down to send it into OT. And these teams have only ever played one overtime game. It was here in Adelaide, and Adelaide won.
Both teams riddled with foul trouble. Bryce Cotton's got 4. Troy Brown Jr.'s got 4. Rakocevic is the same. Doyle and Edwards with 4 for United. And right now, Mike Wells has to get his team emotionally lifted. They have blown a golden opportunity to create a buffer between first and second on the ladder.
No, that's true. And personally, and each to their own, coaches will do it a different way. I would prefer a little bit more misdirection, a little bit more movement. It was a very static defense that they were going up against, and put a lot of pressure on Bryce.
Let's go courtside to Kelsey Brown.
Well, the issue now for Dean Vickerman is that minutes restriction on Shea Illy. Tom Coppins will come out and start this. Yes, he will. Andrew Case.
Hey, sorry to butt in, Chelsea, but that time restriction, that's out the window.
Out the window right now. Are you telling me that an extra 5 minutes here with the different degrees of intensity throughout the game?
I'll tell you what, Coach, if you play me 5 more tonight, I'll sit out 15 in practice.
They need him out there. What a great return to the game this has been for Shea Illy. Adelaide led by as many as 15 in the first half, by 18 in term number 3, and by 14 when we started the fourth quarter. But Melbourne fight their way back to 95 apiece, and we're going to overtime. Adelaide has already played overtime this year. They beat Cairns here by 4 back in round 9. Melbourne yet to play overtime this year or last season as well.
And what about the confidence that Dean Vickerman has in Tom Coppins?
And what a difference a week makes when you consider Adelaide. They came from 18 down to win in Perth, and they gave up an 18-point lead here in this one, and we're into overtime. Cotton exploring, draws a whistle. He's off to the free throw line.
And good job there by Cotton to keep his dribble alive, which gave him time to read the big man after he utilized the screen. And penetrated slightly, hesitated in the air, drew contact, shooting 2.
He's so good at being able to stop so quickly and still have soft touch. So he's going to the bucket, but he can go off 2 feet. And there's Shea Illy getting a little rest.
Kelsey told you what it was, his time restriction. You got to watch his minutes. They don't want him to get hurt in the future, although I wouldn't mind winning this game.
Adelaide by 2 on Bryce Cotton's free throws. First period of overtime, and an offensive foul is called on Melbourne United. And Finn Delaney picks up his 3rd personal.
It's the call that we've been talking about.
Oh, he pushes it. Just unnecessary. The mini advantage was going to be there.
So Cotton against Coppins, got him looking the wrong way. Goes back for seconds. Cheatham waits for Cotton to get back involved. Shot clock rolls to red numbers now as Cotton elevates and knocks down the shot.
That is ridiculous. He's got a big guy on him and still has the composure to go up and the soft touch.
He's proving the difference at the moment, Bryce Cotton. Almost a minute play in overtime as Golding gets down low and adds another 2. He's up to 22 in the game, Golding.
A lot of contact there as he gets to the bucket on his right hand. Beats Troy Brown Jr. off the bounce.
Here's Cotton once more in an opening late whistle. Provided by referee Ken Harrick, and more free throws to come.
Melbourne United bench, Andrew, they have exploded.
Well, we need to have a look at this one. It looked like Bryce might have kicked that left foot out ever so slightly.
Well, they have a coach's challenge up their sleeve.
Hard to tell from that angle.
Well, it's too late now as Cotton has started to take over in this overtime period. Now up to 31 with 2 to go. And here come the MVP chants. We heard them last weekend during the opening ceremony at RAC Arena. But these are genuine.
Yeah, and we might not hear the chants, but the fans in every stadium that he goes to, that's in their head anyway.
Well, you know what it's like having won 7 of them.
Adelaide by 5. Down low, Edwards muscles his way up for 2 more against Cheatham. Hamstrung with those 4 personals.
You know, Drew, that may be a good plan of attack. They can probably get anything they want right now through Edwards.
Cotton has all 7 of Adelaide's points here in the extra period. Shot clock works to 10, guarded by Coppins. Gee, that's a big ask for the young man. Cotton off the mark. Cheatham kept it alive, but only as far as Golding. Now they've got a 3-on-1 fast break. Doyle, Cotton stole it. Bounces into Cotton.
Wow.
And it's an offensive foul on Bryce Cotton, and he's out of the game.
Oh, boy,
Cotton
what a
fouls out for the first time in his career in game 275, and he is out.
Finn Delaney with a perfect read. Just picked where Cotton was going. Cotton was a little unsighted when he first collected the ball.
Great interception. Reads Doyle perfectly. Goes for the push. Wow. And that's a charge.
It does look like it.
Good job by Delaney to slide his feet.
Absolutely slides his feet. You are allowed to go laterally, and that time there in a sound defensive position. And it was just an unfortunate situation that Bryce, with the intercept, his momentum was going all that way, and he really didn't have a chance to put the brakes on.
Wow. So Bryce Cotton fouls out of the game, having scored all 7 of Adelaide's points in the extra period. They lead by 3.
Bryce has got to be careful now. He's upset, which is understandable, but just needs to, he doesn't want to get a tech.
33 points, a career high, equaling 13 assists and 7 rebounds for Bryce Cotton. For the first time ever, he fouls out in the NBL.
It's been a terrific performance by Cotton again. But now the focus shifts to the Adelaide 36ers and who can run the show. Flynn Cameron obviously will take the bulk of that responsibility, but now Isaac White enters the game and he'll take some of that as well. Can the Sixers hold on to this 3-point lead with just over 3 minutes to go in this one? The drama case.
Unbelievable. Worthy of a top of the table and championship favoritism deciding clash between the Adelaide 36ers, 13 and 3. They won 13 games all of last season, and Melbourne 13 and 4, coming off back-to-back defeats. This one has had it all. Bryce Cotton has been reduced to a spectator for the last 3 minutes and 10.
And if I'm Adelaide, Drewy, I'm paying special attention to Milton Doyle.
Yeah, and Chris Golding.
Golding with it. It's beyond Flynn Cameron. Can't get enough on the shot. Kept alive with the O-board. Jesse Edwards, they force a possession arrow, and it's with Melbourne.
Yes, sir. Wide base on here.
This is a situation where Mike Wells will be looking at that clock and never feeling like it's going quickly enough.
Yeah, that's right. He's got a 3-point lead, but he's superstar and their go-to guy. He's no longer out there.
Doyle looking to restart, not a lot of options, eventually retreats all the way to Coppins. Inside the last 3 minutes, first period of overtime, Adelaide by 3, shot clock, rolls to red numbers, now Delaney against Troy Brown Jr., muscles his way to the left-hand side, it's off the mark.
Great defense on that initial on ball.
Flynn Cameron, the hero with a game winner last week against Perth, gives it up. Troy Brown Jr. hasn't been his night shooting-wise. Goes back to Flynn Cameron. He puts it on the deck against his forwards. Even a flying dunk from Silent Cheatham.
He dunked it on the way down.
12 in the game for Cheatham on 5 of 5 from the field. He's got 8 boards as well, and Melbourne have coughed it up. Now Cameron has got Golding to beat here. Takes him on. That's exquisite. What a finish from Flynn Cameron. Time out Melbourne.
Flynn Cameron with a terrific steal. And then after he makes that one there, that creates that dunk for Cheatham. Look at the elevation, Drew.
He had to take the ball above the rim, but this is just a beautiful play by Flynn Cameron. Read the defense. 3 years of experience against Chris Golding. Was able to read it, and the finish, he made it look a whole lot easier than it actually is.
And I love the fact that he's not afraid of the moment. We see him be aggressive and maintain his aggression no matter how he's playing from game to game, and he has been a notable shining light for the Adelaide 36ers as they start off this season better than they have in over a decade.
Without a doubt, remembering in the last game between these teams, Flynn Cameron just at 2 points on 1 of 7 from the field. He just really didn't rise to the occasion after he put together some impressive numbers leading up to that game. But he has been monumental here, 16 points in the game and taking on the responsibilities, you say, Derek, and wanting to be the man.
That's right. It's a big decision for him to move away from Melbourne United, considering this is a team that perennially shows up in championship series, Andrew.
Yeah, but he needed this opportunity.
Yep.
And he wasn't going to get it at Melbourne United. Not to this level, anyway.
Adelaide by 7. We move inside the last 2 minutes of OT, and Illy muscles up hard, can't convert. They've come up empty again. Just 4 points for Melbourne here in this extra period. Brown trying to milk a foul off Delaney. Cameron pushes Illy down, a flop warning provided by Vaughan Mabry, and now whistle on the play, and Shea Illy bordering on a technical as well. That's a flop warning.
And that's good refereeing in their case. Illy was right in front of us, and Drew, he started to fall before the contact was even really made. Although the left hand, I didn't see that, the left arm extension. But I think when you show intent like you're going to fall before the contact, it always makes referees reluctant to call that charge.
Yeah, it's a long way back now for Melbourne United. They need to be focusing on the 3, becomes a whole lot more critical with this margin with 1 minute and 40 remaining.
Adelaide by 9. 13 points to 4 in the extra period without Bryce Cotton, who fouls out of the game. 90 seconds to play. They need some offense. Golding in traffic, splits 2 defenders, looks off another, and Finkel rolls 2 home for a season-high 24.
Still time, Drew. You got to get a stop here.
Cheatham hands over to Flynn Cameron. Goes to work once more. Exploring, nothing on offer. Stays with the dribble, now needs help. White with red numbers on the shot clock. Cheatham with a mismatch here on Shea. Illy works baseline. Illy going to be called for the foul. Free throws to come for Cheatham.
Now this one was more clear-cut, Andrew. This is definitely a block. And Illy really displaying some aggression.
Well, there was a mismatch and he was up against it. Does a good job sliding his feet. Wasn't quite sliding him quick enough. Not quite there. Very close. And there's a
technical foul. Shea went on with it. He picks up the tee, and he is out of the game as well.
And that's just letting your emotions get the better of you. Still in this contest. And this is going to be a tech. Then 2 free throws to come, so a potential 3 points on offer.
Shea has been very good in this game for Melbourne United. Make no mistake about it. A couple of calls in this overtime period late have not gone in his favor.
Look at Shea. He went on with it. Vaughan Mabry was watching him closely initially, but he still went at referee Ken Arrick. Eventually overstepped the mark, called for the foul. He's only fouled out 3 times last year. Twice were against Adelaide. One of them was for the kerfuffle with Montrezl Harrell.
It was almost like in that instance he said, I'm getting one here. It's almost like he was chasing a tech.
Cheatham. One more to come.
We've seen a lot of lane violations called this season. And I don't know if it's a point of emphasis or players are just not playing with enough attention to detail.
Cheatham gets a user-friendly roll, so he's up to 13 in the game, along with 8 boards. Adelaide by 9, less than 60 seconds on the clock in overtime. Delaney muscles his way down low, lost control of the ball, needs help. Here's Krebs, baseline. Nice finish from him. So Krebs gets the finish.
and only down 7. There's plenty of time to get back in this one, especially based on the track record, Drew, of what we've seen in games recently.
Yeah, for sure. Now it's going to take a turnover or 2, or a missed shot, and some threes.
Or missed free throws.
Cameron under pressure, gets it to White. They scurry over the halfway line. Vasiljevic intelligently retreats away. They milk the clock, Adelaide, as far as they can. Shot clock to single digits. White in the corner. Troy Brown kept it alive with the O-board, and now Melbourne must foul, and they're going to do it against Vasiljevic. So free throws to come. Foul is on Krebs, his second.
Smart play to get it to Vasiljevic. Very good free throw shooter. A guy who likes this moment. And Adelaide have hung tough in this overtime period. As these fans, another sellout crowd, they rise up in appreciation.
And Brown comes up with a meaningful offensive board. And that's basically snuffs out the chances. You hear the crowd getting around Bryce as they see him on the screen.
Adelaide's highest score of the season. They lead by 9 here. 30 seconds to play. Melbourne need points in a hurry. Cameron deflects the ball away from Doyle, who regathers for Krebs, and the triple. It's off the mark. Cheatham the rebound. Hands over to Vasiljevic, who in traffic will draw another foul. And more free throws to come. And the fans think it's over now.
Possibly upgradable too. I think they might have a look at this foul. Because he's... Now, to me, it should just be 2, but... And I'm right, they are seemingly going to Scotty Butler in the team.
Well, there's no consolation for Melbourne United or their fans, but this was an impressive performance to dig themselves out of a deep hole.
That's for sure. And let's not forget, Derek, it's taken a lot out of them, and they've got to dust themselves off real quick to front up for a game on Sunday.
Against Sydney, who play Perth immediately after this game. But what a night it's been. Vasiljevic up to 13, including 4 in the extra period. Isaac Humphries without Sterling early before fouling out. 17 points, 6 boards in his 100th appearance. And Adelaide with their highest ever score against Melbourne United. As Coppins puts it on the deck, bounces into Vasiljevic, worried out of the points. Now Cheatham's going to be called for the foul, and he will exit the game. Cheatham fouls out. So he will sit down for the first time this season, and the second time in his career. But I don't think they're going to be too bothered about it.
Andrew, you look at these two teams, they come in 1 and 2 in the league. How much of a gap do you think there is to the rest of the league?
Wow. Based on tonight's performance, as you mentioned, Derek, I think Melbourne United walk away, and considering they dropped 2, but this is a different game. Yeah. They looked out of sorts the last couple, but this one they were very engaged, and they were able to work their way back from an 18-point deficit. So I think that there's a long way to go, but these two teams clearly look like they've got the depth and just a smidgen above the next rung of teams.
White in traffic, Troy Brown Jr. and now Vasiljevic. No need to foul here for Melbourne United, but let's look at overtime period for the Adelaide 36ers. Stamp their authority at the top of the NBL ladder, and they do it by 9 points in overtime. It's Adelaide 114, Melbourne 105.
Another drama-filled contest case. The 36ers build an early lead, hang on, and Bryce Cotton still having words for the referees. But he's our Foot Locker player of the game. Another complete performance, 33-13.
Yeah, he was special. That first half is as good as you want to see. The way in which he orchestrated the win and found people, scored himself. He's a superstar, as we know, but that first half was special.
19 points to 10 in the extra period. Adelaide gets home. We'll be back to wrap it up from Adelaide right after this.